Good morning. It's R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson coming to you live from Oxnard, California. How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Good. What
happened to Kanye?
I know. What that was our Dallas Cowboy intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're rocking the
okay.
streets
We
here.
got to
We've
switch
reached
it up.
the beach and we're rocking the
I
streets.
like that. I like that. Oh,
Right here.
you got bars?
I spit them every now and then.
If we start off the show with Rob spitting bars, we're about to have a great show.
It's going to be a day.
It's going to be a great show.
You know, we get to Oxnard yesterday, and it's an off day. NFL player agreement. They get an off day every 3 or 4 days, depending. They'll come back today and practice. Tomorrow will be their first day in pads, and then Thursday we're going to dinner with Jerry. So that's really all that really matters over here the next couple of days. So today things are going to kick into gear. The camp will be in full. Both practices will be in play. The fans will be here. The circus that we love so much will be back. The press conference, the State of the Cowboys statement every day at noon. We're going to have live. We'll carry the press conference to make sure that you guys are fully aware as your AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage will continue today. I'll continue to be presented by Ewell Kubota. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We're going to have fun. This is going to be a fantastic day at Dallas Cowboys Training Camp. But as we sit here on the beautiful island that is downtown Oxnard, California, there's a lot of sports talk to catch up with. The NBA got busy. There's a brand new trade. Memphis and the Pelicans get busy. Lots of guys that we recognize got moved, Rudy. I mean, we recognize them. But what was the meat of the trade? Memphis got the number 10 pick.
I can dig it. And they also got Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, Bledsoe's in there. Steven Adams involved.
But we're like, blah. The number 10 pick is what we're looking at.
Yeah. I do appreciate the Pelicans bringing in a big. What's his name?
Steven Adams?
No.
Valanciunas. Travis Kelce.
Yeah. That guy.
If you're confused, just
big offense there. I think that's going to allow some more room for Zion. There's some more to this other than the trade. I think the Pelicans got what they wanted in a post that can step away from the rim, also dominate at the rim, but give Zion some space.
How do I pronounce that name? Valanciunas? I don't want the turnover chain. Valanciunas. But see, yes, I agree with that, Rob, because Valanciunas, when need be, if Zion's cooking, he can step out to the three.
Yes.
Steven's not a cone. I love Steven Adams. Sets great picks, rebounds. He's tough, great teammate, but he just sits there in the paint. Zion needs room to operate. Brandon Ingram needs room to operate. So I think it is a good move for the New Orleans Pelicans.
But as that chess piece is moved, what's the Spurs' reaction? We are hearing a lot of talk about the Spurs trying to get up into the top 10. Why? And who are they chasing? We're going to look into that in just a couple of minutes. But also, the Deshaun Watson saga continues. There's some more women showing up. A couple more accusers. Some are already involved in lawsuits, a couple not. So the story continues with Deshaun. As you look back as to reasons why did Deshaun Watson show up? I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that he knew this was coming. Rusty Harden, his attorney, knew that there was some more coming out of the woodwork. So let's make Deshaun look as innocent as possible. And again, innocent until proven guilty. But that story continues as one is just about to come to its conclusion. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, dude, this is a novella. This is as the world turns.
Man.
And the thing about it, man, I get why some people are calling him Karen Rodgers. He's in the store complaining. He's at the register talking about his fries are cold. And he'd be the Karen with the calm voice. All I'm telling you is the French fries were cold and the worst I've ever had. Yeah, he's not this crazy screaming Karen. He's the one that tries to act like the victim.
Yeah,
he's the calm victim Karen. But this is insane. And I think what we're finding out, Rob, is you were right all along. Always trust your gut, brother.
When it's not about the money, it's always about the money.
The thing is, you always said that he would be a Packer.
Yeah. Well, because there was mutually assured destruction here. I mean, there was literally no way that they could move him, because if they did, the detriment to the team and the cap was so awful. It was a poison pill, and no one could really there's a lot of teams that couldn't take on his contract unless it was negotiated down for a whopper of a 1 year and then some back end avoidance. So they both had to come to an idea that it would happen.
Mutually, what did you say? Mutually what?
Mutually assured destruction. It's called MAD.
Pledge, we're going to start a phrase a day where Rob just loses me. Like we're going to play a shot game. I know you don't drink Monster. I'm going to take a shot of this coffee. See how many shots Rob could get me through the day. Mutually assured what?
I'll bring some bourbon to work. We got this.
Dude, I'm like, 2-3 times a day, I'm like, okay.
Now
this isn't the regular Aggie.
No, now I have to find the phrases. I got to get you now.
Yeah, you got to get me now.
Minix mentioned it yesterday, but I want to go a little bit further about, when you travel with somebody, you really get to know them. I've told my sons, you think you know her. Go on vacation. Yeah. Go spend a minimum of 72 hours and at least 3 or 4 in an airport with someone you think you really like. Just find out how they react to negative situations because it's really telling. So, Rudy and I, this is a new marriage. It's an arranged marriage. You kind of got to get to know someone. So Rudy possesses a remarkable skill. He can fall asleep at will. I've never, and he has honed this skill over 30 years to where it's almost imperceptible if you're not paying attention. He sits in the back and we'll be in the middle of a conversation and I'll be talking to Rudy, like talking to him, and it'll be just quiet. Like, I think he's just nodding like, and then all you'll hear is, and then I know he's out. And then I'll start talking to Minix. And then Rudy will just jump right in the conversation. Like he didn't miss a word. And I know that was a snort. He had just snored. And he can dive right back into a conversation after a little 5-10 minute nap. That's not something to be ashamed of, man. There's so many of us that wish at some point I could just like get still and go to sleep.
And the thing about it, I don't even realize that I was asleep. Like I'm thinking I'm attached the whole time, and then I'm back in the conversation. Then yesterday, they finally got a little bit more comfortable with me, so they're like, "Yeah, Rudy, you missed this whole strip."
Yeah, we're taking him on these.
They wanted to show me all this stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, Rudy, you were snoring during that." I was like, "Wait, I was asleep when?"
Don't feel bad, Rudy. I am the exact same way, which is the reason I move around as much as I do. Because if I stop, I'm done.
They won't let me drive because they're scared I'm gonna fall asleep.
He has a wake apnea.
Yeah, man.
Narcolepsy.
It's the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's bad. No, it's bad.
No, don't be ashamed of that.
Why you can't do that?
No. And on top of it, it's sitting up. I wish I could just fall asleep sitting up on top of that. It's like you're falling asleep on a high wire and you just like wake up like, how'd I get here? No worries. You just wake up, get back into the conversation.
It's funny to see them discover this because it's, my inner circle. That's what they know. They hate it. They're like, dude, really? Like, I'm telling you about my life story and you're snoring. And then you wake up acting like even when watching a movie at home, my wife would be like, dude, you just missed 30 minutes. Like, just go back to sleep. Go upstairs.
We went out to Ventura last night.
Yes.
We took Rudy to a restaurant that Jason took me the first time, our first date. The first time I came, it's kind of a tradition to head up to Ventura and eat at a restaurant called Eric Erickson's. It's one of those restaurants that's on a jetty, that it's over the water and it heads all the way. It's that the jetty goes. What do you figure? Is that a quarter mile? It goes way out there.
I don't know, but right when I got there, Pledge, they're like, "You ready to walk the whole pier?" So, I was like, "No." It
has become a landmark for a couple reasons. One, it's our first stop, really our first night out when we come to Ventura, every time we come. And two, it is the pier that James Pleasure charged into the darkness at 2 years ago. And
I heard this.
Last time we were here, I've never actually walked all the way to the end. It's one of those things like it's a Las Vegas city block. It looks doable until you're walking and you realize Las Vegas city blocks are like miles in Texas. So the jetty looked like a doable walk. And then you get on it like, man, I'm not going to go all the way out there. What's the difference? The ocean looks the same from here as it will out there.
I sprinted all the way down and back 2 years
into
ago.
the darkness after a full meal.
Did you have after a full meal?
Oh yeah, I housed some seafood that night. Did y'all go to the same seafood spot?
Yeah, James, they've changed it. It's been remodeled, redesigned. There's a microbrewery upstairs.
Ooh.
And the restaurant downstairs, and the kitchen is upgraded. I can tell you that. What did you get? You had
I had calamari.
Yeah,
I had calamari, and I had 2 hazy IPAs.
Nice.
7.0.
So we tried some more chowder last night.
So you loved it. Jason left all.
Yeah,
of his.
Jason didn't really finish much of his chowder.
I was like, if I were them, I would have been offended at how much chowder he left.
For those of you unaware, clam chowder on this part of the California coast, I guess all the way up to San Francisco, is kind of like the chips and the salsa of San Antonio. Everybody has it, and everybody says theirs is the best. So you have to try the clam chowder wherever you go. And last night, some respect. It was pretty good.
But you had the scampi, and you loved it.
That shrimp scampi was a world-class event. Well done. Well done. It was fantastic. And the microbrew was good. Last night it's a vibe. And the sunset with the it is one of those places and one of those things that you can see why Jerry comes out. And by the way, yesterday, Rudy J, in the presence of the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jason Minix, of course, had Jerry Jones on the Blitz yesterday. If you missed it, you can go check that out on the audio vault there at sasportstar.com or a Best Bail Bonds audio vault. Go check it out. But there was some behind the scenes stuff as Rudy and I were kind of hovering around, videoing and taking pictures.
Being creepers.
Yeah. I wanted to get, Rudy was excited to meet Jerry. So we had to maintain our social distancing. So we have our little tent set up where Jason was on one side of the tent. And on the other side, on the end of another 6-foot table, well, this is an 8-foot table, Jerry was sitting looking into a screen, much like I am right now. And they were just talking back and forth. So Rudy was standing behind Jason doing some videoing, and I was on the other side taking pictures. So the video is going on, and I finally realized it's going on. It's about to be done. And I want Rudy to get a picture with Jerry. He was excited about it.
I was.
So you also have to know that wherever Jerry Jones goes, it's not a posse. It's not a crew, but it's people, his handlers, his security, which, by the way, he's got a new security guard. There's a story there. His old security guard that he'd had for forever wasn't with him yesterday. It was another guy, but he looked like security guard. He had the mirrored sunglasses and everything, slick back hair. He looked like a New York cop.
He looked like he could.
I was trying to figure out, where's this gun?
Is that your first thought?
Well, yeah.
It was there on.
Well, in Texas, you don't have to ask. It's right there. You just see it. This guy had it.
I'm guessing small of his back.
You think? I don't know. I was looking.
Because he had on athletic gear.
Yeah, he had
so it's not like he's like a black suit, shades. No. Like it's one of those guys you wouldn't expect is out of the blue, put you in a chokehold if you do something stupid.
He had that look about him. So he was there, and the PR type was there, and they're about on the other side. So you can't see that there's a bunch of people around this interview. And I want Rudy to get a picture. So I'm trying to wave at him without talking over the conversation that Jerry and Jason are having. And I'm waving at him, go around the back of the tent.
He looked like he was giving me baseball signals.
And so Rudy's like, what do you want me to do? So he takes the video camera and goes around the other side and is kind of standing behind the curtain where Jerry is talking, and it looks like he's sneaking up on him. So I have some really good pictures of Rudy kind of creeping like he's going to come around the corner, and then he finally came out, and I'm waving at him like, get close. I want it to look like you're right there with him, and that's what Jerry saw.
And it still ended up looking like a stalker picture. Like I photobombed. I look like I photobombed my own picture.
He was making Rizzo,
he's that
the
dude
security
peeping
guard.
out from around the tree, the meme.
Yes.
The personal security guard was looking a little shifty. I wanted to see where the gun was right there. Yeah. He was going to go for it if you'd taken one more step, creeping up on Jerry.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Because I'm so nervous because it's Jerry. Even though I'm like, I am with Rob, I'm with Jason, like they've been here, but I was still nervous to creep up on him because of the social distancing. I tried to keep my distance, but yet look like it was a legit picture, and I ruined it.
Jerry just can't help.
Jerry doesn't know.
We got
Jerry
the
don't
fist bump.
Yeah, Jerry did the fist bump.
We were like, we understand, distance. We wanted to take a picture, and we did. And we was like, why don't you just stand on this side of the tent? We'll stand on the other. He said, oh, man, let's get on in here. Get on in here.
And you got to notice, Rudy, for the first time, if you look at that picture, Rob Thompson will always frat girl hip hop when he takes a picture.
I did. I noticed that too.
Another behind the scene.
I don't know where I adopted that,
dude.
But at some point in my life, I was told to put my fist on my hip.
Yeah, you look like Captain America.
He just pops it, man. He just pops his hip out
I look like I'm taking my 8th grade cheerleader picture. Is what I look like.
But the last thing, originally Jason's standing next to Jerry. In my mind, I'm like, this is my moment. Like, you got the interview. At the last second before the picture snap, I throw Jason out of the way into the middle and get next to Jerry.
I didn't know.
And Jason looked at me like, really, dude? I was like, bro, I whispered to him, like, you got the interview. I'm standing next to him. So that's how that picture, I threw Jason into the middle. Like, no, bro, you just got the interview. I'm standing next to him.
You got a couple kids wrestling. I saw him first. I was here first. He's Rudy J. This is R&R in the morning. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Thank you so much for joining us. This brand new era in San Antonio sports talk has begun. We're so happy to be out here in Oxnard. We endeavor to bring you 8 hours a day of Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage live from Oxnard, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Ewald Kubota, a fine tractor to be had there. What we endeavor to do as you're heading into work, no traffic. You can chill out, get yourself ready, because once you get in, you got that 9:30 meeting with Hernandez, and man, she always asks questions. So you're going to have to be ready for that, but we want you to be fully informed. Yes. So what we do is have James Pledger Cole, the finest in all of sports news, so that you'll have plenty to talk about when you arrive at his time for the 411 and the 210. Good morning, Vince.
Morning.
Thanks, guys. And as things are going, I'm continuing to update these headlines as we get through this first segment. The U.S. women's national team played Australia to a 0-0 draw as they went 1-1-1 in group play, but did advance into the knockout round. The U.S. men's national team in basketball lost in their group play opener, and now Simone Biles this morning has pulled out of the USA Gymnastics team final with what is being referred to as a mental issue.
Oh, shucky ducky, quack, quack.
We're looking at the actual gold medal count right now. USA, China, and Japan all tied with 9. USA and China tied with 5 silver medals and 8 bronzes for the U.S. that give them a total count of 22, which leads all countries, but they are tied with 2 other countries in the gold medal count with 9 as of this morning.
It's us and China. Who's the third country with the golds?
Japan.
Japan, really?
Yes.
Home.
And I think we played them in the softball final, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right? Women's. We do. It's USA versus Japan. When do they do that? Tomorrow? Today? Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Don our gear. So the women's national team. Well, a couple things. Simone, Osaka. Got the mental side of things is really front and center here.
I think Simone possibly gave herself some added pressure with the goat slides and the goat leotard, and then when things don't go how they've normally gone for the last 6-7 years, however long she's been dominating, it kind of adds. And then you got people all in your face. Osaka was bounced third round. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that about Simone. That's breaking.
Yeah, that is breaking.
We're going to get into that certainly as we look at our Olympics. The women's national team is what now? They lost again? Or they tied?
They're 1-1-1.
They're 1-1-1. They tied Australia, but did advance into the knockout round.
And we beat New Zealand. That's the team we housed, right? 6 to
and
whatever.
You got housed by I believe it was Sweden.
Sweden 3-0.
Our women's national team got fat and happy.
Think they're feeling themselves a little too much?
I think they got they won their court case, which they should have. This whole thing was ridiculous about how they're getting paid. But, you see, what's Rapinoe kicking sandwiches around, doing workouts with Usain Bolt.
Popular.
Yeah, that is the spoils of victory. I mean, you reach a certain plateau, go enjoy the fruits of your labor, go do that. But, it is not a news story that the team that fought so hard to gain respect both on the field and off and changed and knocked down barriers, when you finally achieve all that, so you wake up, you're not quite as mad. You wake up,
you lose that hunger,
angry,
that edge.
So they're talented enough to right this ship, but you get the feeling that we're good. We can turn that switch on. I'll be there for practice once my commercial shoot's done. No, I'm in shape. I've got my personal trainer and masseuse right back there in the limo. We're working out every spare moment.
Yeah.
But as soon as we get an opportunity, I'll make it to practice.
Headline 1, Deshaun Watson saga continues with the Texans after reporting to training camp over the weekend and continuing to push for his trade out of Houston. Watson's own attorney, Rusty Hardin, has told ESPN that 10 women have made complaints to the Houston Police Department against him, including 2 not involved in the actual 22 civil suits against him.
Now, help me out, Rob. You know a few lawyers. Filing complaint is different than filing charges?
Yes.
Okay.
You can file a complaint with the police. Then the police go and investigate it. If they believe there is a crime that has been committed, they go to the DA, and the DA files charges. Okay. So complaints can be, you and I can issue a complaint.
I can say that there's a jackhammer right outside of Rob's hotel door.
I think they're shining diamonds. I think it's a diamond grinder.
So that would be a complaint.
Yeah, that would be a complaint.
Okay.
And then the sound cops would show up with some sort of sound meter, and then they'd have ample evidence to take to the DA and then charge people with hotel occupant abuse.
Do I even want to know what's going on outside your hotel room?
From the outhouse,
we gotta look
from the penthouse to the outhouse, and I feel so bad for Rudy. It is there was a near scuffle.
We're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna get into it. It wasn't. It was because of the hotel itself. It was just the atmosphere that I inserted myself into. That it ended up cool, but it's not the best place, and it's amazingly busy.
Yeah. So is this why you went to practice yesterday? Full circle, Deshaun, because Rusty knew that more was coming out.
It has to be that way. This wasn't a surprise,
right?
So Deshaun showing up, I think, everybody knew was the first card that had to be dealt in the next hand of poker. Sometimes you have to make a move to make everybody react to that. So he shows up. Suddenly the team goes, okay, you're here. You called our bluff on, not showing up on that $50,000 a day fine. That's not going to be an issue. So let's take the next step forward into what's next. And we're going to trade you. That way the NFL front office knows, okay, it's on our desk now. And inactivity proved that nothing's going to happen this year. If once he showed up to practice and we haven't heard from the NFL as training camp has begun, there will be no ruling from the NFL this year at all. So it told the rest of the NFL, look, all right, so the commissioner has let us know there's nothing imminent. That the commissioner would have said, well, yeah, he's at practice, but we're going to report on our investigation next Tuesday. They didn't say that. They didn't say anything. So you get the feeling that nothing comes from the NFL because there's no real other than allegations. There's no charges from anybody.
Right.
So, and the investigation is in its infancy. So they're not going to do that during the season. So it told the rest of the NFL that was thinking about making the deal. Not only are the Texans saying we're taking calls, I can make that call in the comfort of knowing the league's not going to pull the rug out from underneath me and say, I get him and he gets suspended for 6 games this year. Now, it might happen next, but at least I can plan for that.
And headline 0. Recent reports say the Pistons aren't fully there yet on taking Cade Cunningham. And Jonathan Gibney, ESPN's draft analyst, said the Rockets have been stonewalled in their attempts to bring in both Evan Mobley and Jalen Suggs for private workouts as they hold the number 2 pick in the draft. And Jonathan Wu of Sports Illustrated say that the Spurs are looking to trade into the top 10 as they currently sit at 12th, with the Memphis Grizzlies just trading up to 10 to get ahead of them.
Well, let me tell the Pistons something. Right now, you're just a liar, a straight mentiroso.
Don't ruin my hope, Rudy.
You know, I feel bad for the Detroit fans because there's somebody out there that believes their front office. Like, what?
I get it. It's gamesmanship. It's chess. Like, hey, maybe someone will want to give us this because they don't think. I get it, but they're lying.
And that's what you need to know with the 210.
You know, there was a lot to parse.
Good stuff, Pledge.
Yeah, we appreciate that. The 210, the 411 and the 210, James Pledger cultivated that for him. And by the way, I think we have to give some credit where credit is due. James Pledger is busting his arse there at the Radio Ranches. We're out here all working, but some of us are working a little bit harder and longer. So we appreciate you, James, for taking care of Carl Schoening, normally in there.
Get back over here,
The
Carl.
dude gets a vacation the week he starts.
Even gonna know how to do anything when he gets back?
No.
I know, it's all just right out the window.
He's going to be margarita clouds.
Yeah, he's going to be sunburnt.
Pledge, you're going to be training them again Thursday morning, so keep that alarm clock set, bro.
So,
Nah, I'm good.
yeah, Thursday's going to be a rodeo. That's our new guy takes a vacay, comes back.
Oh, no, Friday's going to be the rodeo on his second day back.
Oh,
when you're not there, you're like, yo, all right, I'm sleeping in.
Well, our condition Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Won't be spectacular. We did an outstanding job of opening up this segment and went took it all the way to the end.
I would definitely say this was one of the better segments of the week.
It's the best I've done this morning. Pull the curtain back. We were already supposed to talk about what we're going to talk about next, but it is too much fun to talk about. So let's get it. We'll get the whole thing.
You're having a great hair day, Rob.
I'm having a good hair day.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up.
Maybe it's the red. I don't know. It's looking like a good hair
Well, you know,
day.
I'm looking at myself in red. The hair day. One of the many problems with the motel hell is I have a brand new. It is obviously a brand new hair dryer. It's the kind that has the little clink into the wall.
Oh gosh, they're the worst.
It's obviously brand new. It is like shining, glistening. It doesn't work.
Another thing.
It's plugged in. The circuit breaker red buttons plugged in. That should work. The power works. The damn thing doesn't work. So I got out of the shower this morning at I don't know. I think it was 3, and go to dry my hair, and the hair dryer doesn't work. And I'm normally a blow dryer kind of a guy. So
it worked out. It worked out.
There's a fair amount of I can't go any very close to an open flame. If I do,
you had to put that much hairspray to lay it down.
There's enough product in here. I look like G.I. Joe. What's the character that I'd never heard of?
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. I look like the other G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes brother.
A long lost brother.
Hey, when we come back, the NBA saw the first trade prior to the draft coming up on Thursday. Memphis jumps up to number 10. That's the meat of the deal. Why? Why did they go to 10? We're hearing rumors across the NBA that the Spurs are also jumping up to 10. Why and who do we think they're chasing? Does Memphis covet the same player? We'll talk about it next. We are so glad you are with us. This is R&R in the Morning, and you are on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. When I woke up this morning, 3 a.m. in Oxnard, California, a diet was the furthest thing from my mind. And I would tell you, when you wake up any morning, a diet should be the furthest thing from your mind. If you need to lose weight, you need to literally change what you eat, how you eat, and your thoughts on what food means to you. And if you get past that, you're not on a diet anymore. And what you eat, you're not guilty about. When I first met Dr. Jacob Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, I was never going to go on a diet. I weighed nearly 300 pounds, and I had everything that goes along with all the weight that you carry, from the sore knees to the bad back to wasn't sleeping because I was snoring all night long. And if you're snoring all night long, you wake up tired and everything that went along with it. I thought that was just part of getting old. I met Dr. Torres, and he explained to me, man, that weight you're carrying, not only is it knocking you down during the day, but all that soreness will go away too. He's the first doctor I ever met that wanted to get me off medication. And he explained to me that if you get on a program that's put together by a medical professional, you cut through the stuff that doesn't work. You get past the things that might work really well for a little bit, but bounce right back and you got more weight on you than when you first started. If you get on a program that is monitored and put together by medical professionals and you're guided through all this, you're just about guaranteed success. It is not the easiest thing I've ever done, but it's the best thing I've ever done. I want you to find out more about Dr. Torres and the great group down at the IFF. Here's the number you need. Call for a free sit down, a free conversation. You can go by and sit at their great office down on Ashby. Then if you're following protocols and you're not comfortable with that, certainly he'll meet with you via Zooms or whatever teleconferencing service you like. But here's the number to start the process. It's 210-468-1891. 210-468-1891. If you or somebody you love is in a situation where they just need to lose weight, prolonging your life, living a better one, that's what it's all about. Call Dr. Torres, meet the folks down at the IFF, get on a program that will literally change your life, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, and in the NFL, after reporting to training camp over the weekend and pushing for a trade out of Houston, Deshaun Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, told ESPN yesterday that 10 women have made complaints to Houston police against him, including 2 that were not involved in civil suits. In Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros lost a 7-0 lead as they dropped their opener in Seattle against the Mariners 11-8. The Astros look to bounce back when they continue that series tonight from Seattle with first pitch set for 9:10. The Texas Rangers return to action after the day off as they're looking to snap a 12-game losing streak, which is their longest since 1982, as they return home to open up a series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch is set for 7:05, and it's a game you can catch right here on your home for Rangers baseball starting right after the Blitz. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hurt in an accident and dealing with hospital bills? Thomas J. Henry will help you with medical bills while we work on your case. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
If your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, get them fixed. Hi, Jason Minix here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. That means they come to you to fix your brakes. We're all busy. None of us have time to go spend hours waiting at a repair shop or want to deal with the hassle of dropping your car off and going back to get it the next day. That is the beauty of New Brakes. They come to you. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes, so you won't get the upsells like at a traditional repair shop. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. They use premium brake parts and back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go to nubrakes.com. Schedule that repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. You need your brakes done? Get them done with New Brakes. You continue to do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes, and they're great at what they do. Go read all the 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com.
Great values are happening now during Lowe's Summer Savings. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each priced $396 or more. You'll also find new lower prices on ceiling fans, landscape lighting, and more. So shop Lowe's today. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 through 8/4. U.S. only.
Staples Connect has everything you need for back to school at amazing prices. Right now, the TI-84 Plus CE Graphing Calculator is just $99.99. You save $55, our lowest price of the season. With savings like that, your student won't just be ready for school. They'll be first day of school pop quiz ready.
It's showtime.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back-to-school today and get more than ready for back to school with amazing prices for everything on your list. Ends 8/1, limit 2 per customer. In store only.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
O'Reilly. If you're ready for an oil change, trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your car. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil and a Wix filter for $33.99. Plus, get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate and double O-Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a charge, we can help with that too. And if you need a new battery, we've got a wide selection of replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And we're the only place you can find proven tough Duralast batteries, including Duralast Platinum with AGM and EFB technology. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2020.
Are you finally ready to sell that motorcycle or ATV that is just collecting dust in your garage? Harley, Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, or anything like it. RumbleOn.com will pay you cash today. RumbleOn.com will buy them all. And in minutes, you have a real cash offer. We will pay you cash before we pick it up. No more strangers coming to your house from a listing site. Free pickup anywhere. Get your cash offer today. RumbleOn.com. Fast bikes, faster cash.
Our boys are joining the boys. Cowboys Training Camp, live from Oxnard, California.
Good morning to you. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Yes, sir. This is San Antonio's Sports Star. 12:50 a.m. 94.5 FM.
No blitz this week.
No
interceptions.
None.
No turnover. Don't turn the ball over.
We didn't bring the chain with us.
We didn't. We should have.
I likely will turn it over several times today, so I'll earn it. It'll be in the bank. So the NBA trade season has begun. It got going yesterday. Overnight, I wake up to see. What did you know about the trade last night? I didn't.
No. I didn't know about it.
I saw it first thing this morning. Memphis and the New Orleans Pelicans got busy. Trade a couple bigs. Steven Adams for Valanciunas. Also, Eric Bledsoe involved. Bledsoe, I think, will play a role.
You know what?
With Memphis,
his name is holding more weight than his game. Like, I mean, at this point, Bledsoe, I don't want to say he's washed, but it's just a name. Like the guy that he was with the Clippers, he was a dog. Right now, he's just in the way. And I don't know how much I want him around the future of my team in Brooks and Morant. Like Bledsoe needs to be the 7th, 8th guy off the bench, keep it steady the ship here and there, and just stay out the way.
And, he's a load management kind of filler.
True.
Good point. The guy go out and get you. There'll be nights he can get you 30. There'll be nights that he won't be there, and you just sit him down and wait. But
he gets hurt.
The real meat of this deal was, of course, Valanciunas going to New Orleans. I do think that helps them offensively. It'll help spread the floor even more and give Brandon Ingram and specifically Zion more space to be themselves. But it was the number 10 pick that Memphis brought back for all of this. They jumped up into the top 10 to go get something. The Spurs have been rumored more than we have heard in quite some time to be actively in the trade up market. So obviously they're chasing something. The Memphis move might be in reaction to San Antonio, but there's something that the Spurs obviously feel like they want, and it will not be there at 12. So Rudy, when we look at the Spurs draft options, the types or the players that are out there, if you were Brian Wright, what exactly would you be searching for in the draft?
I know it's going to sound cliche, but I'm really going to say it. When you're 12, if they're not able to move up, you go best available. But I mean, I'm not blind. It's clear we need an athletic big, but again, at 12, it's not going to be anyone there worth a flip. Clearly, they wouldn't be trying to move up. So I'm thinking an athletic big.
I'm looking at, by most accounts, one of the better draft prognosticators he's on ESPN, Jonathan Givony's. Pledge, you appreciate his
Pledge likes him.
Yeah, his skill set. In his latest and probably next to last mock draft, he has the Spurs taking the Turk, the Alperen Sengun.
Why the sigh?
Not since Manu was drafted have I seen less on a draft pick. I know more about an Australian 18-year-old in Josh Giddey. I've seen more film on him than I have on Alperen Sengun.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know exactly what his game looks like.
It looks very reminiscent of Jakob Poeltl's.
Yeah, I feel like I know exactly what he can do, and more specifically, his probably utter lack of defensibility. Like, just he probably has a pretty good schooling in defensive principles, but really, when you get this good this young, it's because you can go get buckets.
But they may go for another small forward. They may go for a guard because Luka's coming to the rescue next year.
Oh, there he goes. Luka's
coming to the rescue. What is he, 6'10"?
He is 6'10".
Legit.
He is a legit 6'10" with handles.
He's coming to the rescue. We don't need a big. We got Luka.
Well, what I look at, so if at 12, the Spurs, according to Gavoni, are looking at a Euro, which is so pat, and it's so standard operating procedure for anybody that's national, that when they think Spurs, they immediately think draft and stash, and they've got a Euro in mind, and they're going to draft him and bake him and slowly knead him into a solid, if not spectacular, NBA player in 3 or 4 years. That's the book on the Spurs. So I think it's an easy thing to say when you're trying to figure out what the Spurs are going to do. What's the best Euro available?
Right. But let me ask you this, Rob. You're in the room with Brian Wright. It's draft night. We're calling around. We can't figure out a deal for Evan Mobley. Who do you want them to get? What do we do? Well, if that's the position that we desirably need, that's what we need. What do we do?
If I'm Brian Wright, I look at it this way. There are 2 things that I know that we need. I need an athletic big. I just have to have, and it can be a 4, it can be a 5. I need a guy that can defend both positions, that can play high pick and roll D, can dive down. I can teach, or at least has the quickness to switch on picks. It doesn't have to be great, but it has to be at least kind of able to do that. And then live up at the rim, live on the alley-oop, allow my guards a little bit more leeway when they dive down on those high pick and rolls. The Trae Young ability to get the ball up near the rim and somebody just throw it in there. I mean, there's buckets that we're not getting because we can't. So there's that. And then there's jump shooting. We have to have snipers. We got to have at least 2 guys on this team that weren't here last year. That's only job is to find a place around the line and wait for the kick. Those are the 2 things we need. And I think you can find legitimate guys like that.
Do we get the shooter free agency?
That's what I'm saying. I want a proven shooter. I want an NBA type that's, Redick.
I love JJ.
Find the dude that we know can do it and just put him in a situation to be successful. So that goes to the bouncy big. That tells me that I thought initially that the Kai Jones conversation that, we went to dinner, I had salmon, and we discussed my life. When I first heard that that is unspurs like.
Yeah, he got taken off the draft board after he did that.
And it's it was either a massive smokescreen that we weren't supposed to know about, or that was let out by a variety of sources, not just Kai, but maybe somebody else was told, hey, we took that they were covering for another action, which would be very, very typical. Or the Spurs have zeroed in. That's the guy. They've worked him out twice. He fills the bill, and Kai does fill every one of those boxes that I was talking about. He does bounce. He can hit threes. He can defend high. But he's also very raw. Last time we saw him play, he was getting bodied and bullied by Abilene Christian.
Yeah, you told me that story. I didn't see that game, but you told me about that.
He had a terrible game.
If they go with someone like Kai Jones, that lets me know, because they're not dumb. That lets me know that there's somebody that they're targeting that they feel pretty confident about in free agency with a little bit of bounce, with some height, that can defend the screen and roll. They have to have their eye on somebody in free agency if they don't go athletic big. Even if it's draft and stash, they have to have their eye on someone. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that much.
I'm going to let James chime in. Who is it? Who is the guy in free agency you believe the Spurs might be looking at as a bouncy big?
The bouncy big?
Yeah, if they were going free agency and it was we've talked about it for weeks.
Are you trying to get me to go to the Bobby Portis?
Well, I think Bobby Portis is plan B. Although after the title, he's going to take less to stay there. He ain't leaving.
I want a scoring stretch for and Lauri Markkanen as the restricted free agent. That's the one I've been trumpeting for over a year and a half. I think he could be a star in San Antonio.
And then there's John Collins.
That's the bouncy one.
So I think we are going to have a pretty good idea of what the Spurs think their possibilities are with Collins, or secondly Portis, and third Lauri Markkanen, who fills that sniper role.
The Collins
they draft.
Yeah, the Collins thing is going to be interesting because that Atlanta owner We talked about it. He's got to save the Supermax for Trae Young. John Collins is going to feel disrespected, and somebody's going to overpay, and Atlanta's going to be like, I have Trae Young. John, thank you for your services. And then it becomes a rat race to see who can get John Collins. But with the cap room that the Spurs will have now that DeMar wants to go play for a bag of peanuts and a sandwich for the Lakers, Spurs going to have a lot of cap room to throw at John Collins.
James, you guys had Thomas Mott on, our Rock the Mic champ, who now is doing radio in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Was doing pre and post for the Hawks. Yeah, we got a good eye for talent around this San Antonio sports star.
Anybody can be a GM.
Anybody.
But, hey, bro, we put together a good squad. Dog.
Anybody. I'm telling you, being a GM is easy, man. Just eyeball the talent and go get it.
Stay tuned.
But the John Collins thing is a kind of a slow roll because they've already kind of lowballed him anyway. They've already made him mad once.
If you look, let me tell you something. If you talk about you want to get my juices flowing, if by some strange reason they're able to put John Collins next to Keldon, this will be the most excited for a Spurs team I've been in 4 or 5 years if they were able to pull that off. Because Keldon, again, I think what Keldon's experiencing this year, his confidence is going to be through the roof being around studs that he's around. And whether they get gold, bronze, whatever, that's going to work. You know, that's going to be huge for Keldon. Then you're able to land John, and that's your front court. That's a young athleticism that we haven't seen on this team and ever.
You know, up on our Facebook feed, which we do recommend going to check it out. If you want to watch us live from the tennis courts in beautiful downtown Oxnard, California, you can go to our Facebook page. You can go to sasports.com, sportstar.com to watch us live. That's what Franklin's doing on our Facebook feed. He pops up and says, give me Jared Allen as restricted free agent. Brother, I am with you 1,000%. That is a Supermax kind of deal, man. I love Jared Allen.
The Cavs didn't trade for him to lose him as a restricted free agent.
They went. Oh, okay. They went and got him from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn did not want to lose him either.
I love Jared Allen.
Yes,
I just don't think it's possible.
But I appreciate you, Franklin. A man can dream. A man can dream. As it is. It looks like Aaron Rodgers is going to be in camp, and everybody's happy. And always trust your gut. When somebody says it's not about the money, it's about the respect. It's about the money tells me how much respect you got me. So it looks like they got it. Looks like Aaron is going to play. Deshaun is not. We're going to talk some Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers for sure. Devontae might be in. Also, the daily chronicles of the motel hell that your R&R in the morning crew and the Blitz crew are dealing with. This is one crazy place to stay. Man, saw a dude, he was a backer-upper and he was angry, and there was a confrontation that ended in a nice guy, but there was nearly a scuffle. We'll talk about it next. You're on R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Score $1,000 in summer cash. Enter the winning keyword, CAMP, CAMP, CAMP at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Thanks to fans like you, you can now buy Kielbasa products just about everywhere. We hope you continue to enjoy our handcrafted, small batch smoked meats because we sure enjoy making them for you. So grab some today and let me know what you think. My number's on the back of every pack. Right by my promise that if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
Don't wait until you think you have a problem with your water before calling Alamo Water Softeners. Hi, Jason Minix here. Have Alamo Water Softeners come out to your house and give you a free water analysis and free estimate. Get free basic installation with the purchase of select new water softeners. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Having a water softener, it's a necessity, not a luxury. So discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you've got an insurance question, you could talk to a park ranger, but the only quotes they'd probably give you would be about the beauty of a fallen leaf or ripples in a pond, not the kind that could save you money on your policies. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent, who's an expert navigator of the insurance landscape. They could use their expertise to guide you on ways to save hundreds on your policies, while leaving it up to your park ranger to save the wilderness and any endangered picnic baskets. Go online to geico.com/local to find a Geico agent near you.
Friends, demand for unskilled workers is sky high, but who wants that life? There's demand for hundreds of thousands of IT and cybersecurity professionals in the U.S. My Computer Career is training people to meet it. Get skilled. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Through July, grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
They are the players you know and the players you're going to know.
Okay, we'll see what's about to happen.
Get the latest NFL news, moves, and more from Dallas Cowboys Training Camp. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Carl Schoening, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning. Welcome aboard. Hope your Tuesday's going well. As we look at the clock here at beautiful downtown Oxnard, 5:52. Don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you to work. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. The stay in Oxnard has been, it's always fun. And it's really going to kick into gear today. Today, couple of practices.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get popping. But, yesterday was a very quiet day around Oxnard. It was a day off. So the Cowboys that had been vaccinated, obviously, that aren't in it, that weren't afraid of the $14,000 fine or
$14,600.
There we go. The $14,600 fine. So there wasn't a whole lot of activity around here. So we had a lot of stuff to do, and we were going back and forth from our hotel as we were getting everything fixed. And we got, I don't know at which arrival it was yesterday. I guess it was the last one before we were going out to dinner.
Yes.
Which the hotel we're staying in is one of the highway motels. So they fill up the later it gets. People on a highway, they just start pulling in. Well, we had come back and the parking lot was starting to fill up, but Minix has some sort of a point status with the hotel that we're staying.
That's all he has. He points on everything.
So we get a special parking place. We're like right in front of the hotel, right?
VIP.
Yeah, it's VIP for the Super Elite Gold Plus membership.
Yes, there we go. That's exactly
whatever he has. So we think we have a spot. So we pull up and there is one. I don't even see a white pickup.
Me neither. I didn't
even register that there was a guy in a white pickup. But the reason it didn't register was he was in front of the parking spot. There were two parking spots, by the way. So I whip right into a spot, and he's in front of the spot, and he's about to back in. He's a backer-upper.
Rob hates backer-uppers.
Are you a backer? See, don't have any right to complain about a parking spot or what anybody is doing in a parking spot if they're a front parker, if they're a nose parker, because that's the way God intended. Now, I understand technology has advanced our ability to do some things, and backing up with the camera, right. I respect that. But you lose all ability to argue once you drive past the spot.
Oh, then got to back in.
Once you're waiting, and I come in and I park and do whatever, you have no right to complain. Well, I pulled in, and I'll admit, I was a little close to the line. I'm in a rental car.
Yeah, you were.
I was a little close. I'm not going to lie, but it's like anything. It's like baseball. I wasn't out of bounds. It wasn't on the chalk. I was off the chalk. It was close. It would have been a 3. There was gap between my toe and the line, but it's close. Well, when I pulled in, the reason that I chose the spot that I did was somebody, I didn't know who at the time, had left a cone, like a traffic cone in the middle of the other parking spot.
Another spot, right.
So I pull in and I look over and there's a cone there. And I'm like, wow, cone. Somebody, that's kind of a jerk move to save your spot when you're gone. Right. So as I'm looking down at it, I see in my rearview mirror a white pickup backing up, and he rolls over the cone.
He
rolled right over the cone. And I look at it, and by the time he's backed up, we're even now. I'm facing one way and he's facing the other because he backed
in. So
they're
face to face.
Yeah, we're even. Him and his window, mine the other. And I notice at this point, this dude's pissed.
Heated.
He's mad. And he's like, "You're going to have to move your car." I was like, What? You're going to have to move your car. And then I say, "You ran over the cone." And he was like, "What?" I said, "You ran over the cone." He goes, "That's my cone."
Yeah.
That's my cone. So he rolled his window down. He goes, "You're going to have to move your car." I said, "What?" He goes, "You have to move your car." And I looked down. I was like, "I'm inside the line." And that made him even mad. So then I got out of the car, and I think he realized I was bigger than him when he got out of his car, and he looked at me, and I got out of mine. He's a construction dude. He was mad. So he goes, and I said, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll move my car. I didn't know you were there. You're a backer upper. You need to have the sticker. I need to know you're a backer upper.
But Pledge, hold up. He gets behind Rob's car and looks on the other side and like,
yeah, he's like, well, see,
he's like, dude, look at how much room you have over here. He's like, you got to move. And he's shaking his head. And
I'm oblivious. I didn't see any of that. I didn't know that till just now.
That's what I'm saying. Now, keep in mind, Pledge, let me tell you about your boy Minix. Minix wants no problems, no smoke. Minix gets out the car. He whispers to me, "Good luck." I'm full transparency. I cannot fight, but we came together. So either we gonna get our ass kicked together or we gonna jump this dude together. But I'm not going anywhere. So I'm mad because I don't like his body language.
No idea. Yeah. I'm oblivious.
I don't like his body language. So I give him the gnarl, the look like, even though I'm like, oh hell, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like, hey man, he's moving. I'm like, he's moving, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, hey, I'm with Rob. I got, that's my co-host. I'm not leaving him out here with these construction dudes because keep in mind, he's there in the truck by himself, but there's 3-4 workers there with him. Minix bails. Minix wants no part of it because Minix and Mike can both see this guy is heated.
He was mad.
I love that Minix is like, "Good luck."
He whispers to me, "Good luck," and walks inside.
That is crazy. I had no idea it had gotten that heated.
Yeah,
so I get out of the car like, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I'm on the line. It's okay. There's plenty of room.
But Pledge, when Rob stood up, his whole demeanor changed. Because, Rob's 6'3", 6'4". Now he's like, what did he say?
He's like, "Oh, man." I was like, no, the first thing I said to him, because I didn't realize this had all happened. I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm not on the line, but yeah, I can move. Don't worry." I didn't know he was coming in. So I backed the car out, move it so he's got some room so he can throw his stuff heatedly into. I can't tell whether he's packing or unpacking. So I was like, "Hey, man,
he was packing.
Apologize, man. I didn't see you. You're a backer upper." And he was like, "Well, I'm having a." Turns out that his company had checked him into this rat trap of a hotel that we're staying in, and he'd gotten into his room, and he's like, "And there's hair in my bathtub, and the whole city is booked, and this and that. I'm really sorry. I'm having a rough day." I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm with you."
What did he say? "I had a hair in my shower."
Yeah, he had like a bunch of black hair in my shower. Like, well,
let me tell you something. Rob did an excellent job of being cool about it because his body language, his tone was all wrong for me. But Rob was like, "Hey, bro, it's cool, man. Like, hey, I'll move." But because he got behind the truck and he looked like a flight attendant. He's like, "Look how much room you got over here." And he's stomping around in Minix. "Good luck." Runs into the hotel. And I'm like, "Well, damn it, man. It's just me and Rob. We about to get it on down."
I knew he was angry. I didn't know he was mad.
Rob, if you weren't how you were, We're probably at the precinct right now asking Greg and them to bail us out.
He had hair in his shower, and then we had to fight. I don't know. I really don't know. We come back. We are live from Dallas Cowboy Training Camp. Did Jerry break some news with Jason Minix yesterday? We'll listen and find out. Hang with us. It's R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. When I woke up this morning, I took a lot of walking yesterday. Back and forth in Cowboy Camp, we're lugging gear, we're walking long, and you wake up in the morning, you're a little sore. Sometimes you're dealing with those kind of sores and pains that you can't get over, and if you're dealing with that kind of pain, you need to call my friends over to Rosti. Rosti providers are all around in San Antonio, passionate about getting you out of pain. Those kind of pains and aches that we all live with, that you don't have to. They can get you out quickly. Rosti providers they accept most insurances, and save you some time. You never need a referral to go see an Rosti provider. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. The website is Airosti.com, AIRROSTI.com. I recommend going because, it's got a map of all those different providers and a wealth of tips and tricks to keep yourself healthy, keep yourself well, keep yourself on the fitness track that you're on. Rosti providers are there to get you out of pain. Do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Rosti provider today and they'll get you taken care of as quick as possible. Under 3 visits is the average. Rosti, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Rosti provider today and I'm sure you're going to thank me later.
Summer is all about the sunshine. Baseball's All-Star Game. Getting wet to cool off. And patiently waiting for football season to get here. Pass the time and win some summer cash. We're giving away $1,000 each weekday. Listen for the winning keyword at 7, 10, 1, 4, and 6. And enter that keyword at sasportstar.com. Money to buy those season tickets you've been wanting to score. Official rules online at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $27 million for a brain injury in a trucking accident case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Joe, I've come up with the greatest quarter moon marketing idea. It helps people multitask wherever they work.
I'm sure it's epic.
Hear me out, my supersized, sarcastic superior. I call it the Quarter Moon Office and Shower. It's a hybrid home office, complete with 6 powerful shower heads, Wi-Fi, 3 monitors, a copier, and a commercial-grade coffee machine. Paper clips to clean in your pits. You can have it all.
Folks, as things seem to change every day, several things remain the same. Quarter Moon quality service and fast, affordable help for all those plumbing and air conditioning issues that drive you nuts. One call to 210-651-5899. And we'll send an expert to your home or office and fix the issue fast and a fair price. No gimmicks, no hassle.
Boss, allow me to demonstrate. Ooh, 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 ah! Joe?
Yeah, my little buddy.
This coffee tastes like soap.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M13229 DACLA 000743458E.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
If you need office, warehouse, or retail space, call Bottom Line Realty Advisors. We'll save you money on your office lease and get the landlord off your bottom line. Call 210-535-7800 or visit bottomlinerealtyadvisors.com.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We'll help you find everything you need to do the job right. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Today's pros need today's tools, and nobody understands that better than the Home Depot. Our app makes it simpler to get supplies ordered and delivered. Our online project calculators cut guesswork and last-second supply runs. Job site delivery puts what you need where and when you need it. And rental puts the right equipment in your hands, but not your overhead. That's how today's pros get more done. New tech, new tools, old-fashioned hard work. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Our boys are joining the boys. Cowboys Training Camp, live from Oxnard, California.
It's R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pledger on the upper left-hand side of your broadcast feed, coming from beautiful downtown Oxnard. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Coming from Oxnard, California.
It's because the way
So
that light
squirrely
is
after yesterday.
Yeah. After the near tussle we got into. Thanks for hanging around with us. Your Dallas Cowboy training camp coverage is going to go all day long. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. This hour, we're diving into Cowboys camp for sure. We had the great pleasure, and I'll tell you what, it's always an honor to speak with the most powerful man in the most powerful league in sports.
All of sports.
All of sports. So having Jerry Jones come by was an unexpected and a great honor. For having Jason sat down with him. We're going to talk a lot about that. We'll look at the Olympics as they are progressing, and Team America is we're gonna be the number one medal getter, but
Yes.
that's really not. We don't like to lose at anything, and certainly we don't like to lose at sports that are ours. And that's what's kind of hurting. I mean, the USA basketball kind of not looking good. USA softball, they're down 2-0 to the Japanese. Well, at least they were. U.S. women's soccer, while we don't own the sport, we own that part of it.
Yes, we do.
And they haven't looked good. 1-1. They have progressed. They haven't looked good.
Dang hungry, Rob.
Then we haven't even begun to get into gymnastics. Simone Biles is out with an injury.
So it's an injury after all.
It could be mental, could be physical. We're seeing different stories regarding that. But at the end of the story is she pulled out of the team final, I guess, so she can get herself well or healthy, whatever the case may be, to compete in the individuals.
By the way, update on that: Russia wins the overall team final. USA holds on to second.
They cheated. That's so messed up. That's so
ROC's Russia, right?
I can't stereotype Russia like that.
There was an Olympics back. Man, it has been a long time ago. It might have been 96. A long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was a Summer Olympics, and there was coming into the Olympics, there were this was back when the decathlete was kind of a big deal. When you wanted to be the guy that could do all the different sports. From Caitlyn Jenner on, being the decathlete was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, coming into that Olympics, we had two guys that were vying not only to win the gold, but could possibly set the world record. And it was Dan and Dave.
That was a huge campaign.
With the Ray-Bans, it was everywhere. Dan
Reebok?
and Dave. Yeah, Reebok.
Was it McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Everybody.
Dan and Dave were everywhere getting ready for the Olympics. I even remember going and buying a pair of sunglasses. They were either Dan or Dave's Ray-Bans. Well, the Olympics came, and both these morons were awful.
They were terrible.
Neither one of them medaled. And we had been told for 6 months, not only was it going to be a glorious American sweep, but one of them, either Dan or Dave, was going to set a world record. Well, that fell right on its ass. I thought last week would be the beginning of the great season of Simone Biles. That she was going to go do all this remarkable stuff. And no matter what happens in these Olympiads, she is the GOAT.
Yes.
She is the greatest female athlete alive. I have no hesitation saying that. So if this is a mental issue that she's dealing with, man, I feel awful. If it's physical, I feel awful. The outcome is the same, that she can't compete. And sadly, I don't think this season of Simone is going to happen.
But the thing is, that just lets you know how special, like what a Michael Phelps did, because there's so much that can go wrong.
Right.
Keep in mind, in between the time Michael Phelps, he retired, he got caught smoking weed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. Too. Yeah. To go from 4 years to 4 years, like, what can happen in the span of 8 years in order for you to accumulate, 23?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the turnover chain, but 23 medals for Phelps. So again, Biles, GOAT. It's not even up for debate. But when you see what Usain Bolt did, when you see what Michael Phelps did, it just shows you how appreciative we should be of what they had to accomplish, because so much can happen. Freak injury, mental, whatever the case may be. There's a lot that could go on in 8 years that can derail you.
It is hard.
Very
hard to win a championship. It's also hard to stay fully informed as you're riding into work. We know you want to have the right conversation with the right type, and they might ask you what happened last night. Did you watch the big game? If you didn't, that's what James Pledger's here for. He has cultivated the finest and top of all the news headlines that keep you informed. It is time for the 411 and the 210.
Thanks a lot, Rob and Rudy. Well, Aaron Rodgers looks to be getting what he wants as to ensure his return into Green Bay. The NFL MVP quarterback, as the Packers have offered concessions to try and persuade Rodgers to return to Green Bay, at least for one more season, per league sources. Some of those things are the 2023 year in Rodgers' contract. The last one of his current deal would be voided. No tags allowed in the future. The Packers would agree to review Rodgers' situation at the end of this season. Rodgers' contract would be adjusted with no loss of income to give the Packers more cap room now, and mechanisms would be put in place to address Rodgers' issues with the team. Devontae Adams also returns to negotiations for the Pack after extensions broke down over the weekend. And one more Pack headline is they're reportedly interested in trading for Texans wide receiver and former Rodgers receiver Randall Cobb.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
All it was going to take to keep Aaron Rodgers happy was Randall Cobb. We went about this the whole way.
I would have fixed that a long time ago. Keep in mind, though, at first it was Jordy Nelson. Then it was his QB coach. Then Randall Cobb. Then, the center. So it's like Randall Cobb just broke it wasn't that wasn't the big reason, but it's like, all right, enough's enough. That's the one that made him snap. Like, bring Randall Cobb and his pretty eyes self back here. That dude has some beautiful eyes.
Yeah, he does.
I like my eyes, but I want his.
That's funny. Do you think that the Jeopardy, I'll host Jeopardy ploy will ever be used again in any negotiation? That at some point somebody else in our lifetime would be able to say, I'm going to quit the job that I have and I'm going to go host Jeopardy, damn it, and I dare you to find a way to keep me.
Well,
and
I mean, that person better have the leverage of being a host of Jeopardy.
Well, I'm just saying, that was once in a lifetime. We're never going to see that happen again.
Did you see the Reading Rainbow dude got the job?
LeVar Burton, yeah.
Yeah, he got the job.
LeVar Burton is now the new permanent host of Jeopardy?
Yep.
That's like drafted Luka Šamanić, really?
Yeah.
Did he even host in the interim?
I don't know.
He just had one workout and shut it down.
I love how you went Reading Rainbow when most people think of him as
Roots.
Huh?
Roots.
Oh, I was going to say Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek. See,
I'm
that's
not
a
a Trek.
generational thing.
I'm not a Trekkie.
That is so funny. You say LeVar Burton, and you get one person says Reading Rainbow, the other person says Kunta Kinte, and the other person says Star Trek.
Yeah.
That is a long and varied career.
Real quick, my fake brother, big brother to me, made me and my best friend lay down flat on our backs and watch Roots so we could experience what they went through. He was like, y'all gonna lay down on your backs and you're gonna watch Roots start to finish.
Respect.
And I was like, and now, needless to say, we're like 10, 11.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, an hour in, we bailed.
That was like
we ran out of
like
the
a
house.
13-part miniseries.
Yeah.
He was like, get back here. We're bailing.
Aren't
We're
there like
running out the
30 cassette tapes to that?
Dude, we're 10. We're 10. We just want to play Sega Genesis. He's like, you're going to watch Roots.
You're going to get in touch with your past.
Yeah, but Kunta Kinte, yes, definitely Kunta Kinte, for sure.
LeVar Burton, I did not see that one coming.
But yeah, I'm sorry, Pledge.
No, let's round it out.
Headline 1 yesterday. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones joined our very own Jason Minix on the Blitz and might have broken a little Cowboy news while he was with them.
Now, technically, I'm not sure if we've signed.
Okay.
But we've committed and signed. We're going to sign him. And I wouldn't doubt what we've signed him by you and our conversation here.
Talking about former Colts safety and 2017 first-round pick out of Ohio State, safety Malik Hooker in that conversation. Of course, if you want to catch that full interview, go to the AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault. You can catch the entire interview there, or you can watch it on our YouTube page as we had Jerry live on camera yesterday.
Remember to like, listen, and share and all that kind of
Subscribe.
stuff. Yeah, we get graded on it. So
this guy's a 2017 first round pick, Ohio State.
Dude, he fills the prescription. Everybody that has been complaining, asking, begging.
I've been complaining about the same.
This is it. This guy was built when they said, what is a safety supposed to look like and do? That's Hooker. I mean, except the old Herm Edwards, the best ability is availability, apart from the coming in with one wheel.
Great point.
But at least this guy's here, which tells me even more so. And we could see this yesterday in the conversation that Jason had with Jerry. And I do recommend go listen.
Yes.
Head over to sasportstar.com. Give it a listen, because what we've seen about Jerry is great. James, with the info that you have to have, that's your 411 and the 210.
We got one more.
I know.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I was
teasing him up.
I was like, don't cut him off.
No, we're teeing it up.
I'm kidding.
Our final headline 0, Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners officially notified the Big 12 in a joint statement they will not renew their grant of rights agreement with the league, which expires in 2025. The Big 12 responded in a statement of their own announcing intention to leave. Quote, our 8 members are disappointed, end quote. Texas and OU are expected to apply for SEC membership when they leave the conference. And some other news, SEC meeting scheduled for Thursday. School presidents and chancellors to discuss expansion on whether or not to add Texas and Oklahoma. This according to Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, that's like a government meeting in China. It's going to be 100% yay. This wouldn't have been leaked if this was a foregone conclusion with the SEC. What I find very funny again is the Big 12. Was it the AD for Oklahoma State? The president.
Yes, I lost her name, but yes, she's upset.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. The poor Big 12. Nothing like a scorned lover. Nothing like one that just had the Band-Aid ripped off and said it's time to see other people. The Big 12 is still in the 12 stages of grief or whatever it is. They're still in like stage 2.
Case Shroom.
She is quite angry, and we're going to get into that for sure. But first, let's talk some Dallas Cowboy training camp coverage and that what we heard from Jerry. First of all, the Hooker story. If it pans out, and this is
it sounds funny when you say, can you say his full name?
Yeah. Malik Hooker.
He said the Hooker story. I'm like,
back
what?
in the mid-'90s, that had a whole other connotation. But now this is a whole other generation of Cowboys, and I don't think we have to be that concerned.
Great point.
You talking about the White House?
I'm just saying that there was another time when that would have been, part of the conversation. But the Malik Hooker story, I think, could be that pivotal move that you always wait to see that good teams have happen or go do in training camp.
Yeah.
That the good teams know exactly where their problems are and have the wherewithal to go solve the most pressing and, guard the other one, put the fire almost out in other places. But the pressing problem, let's put this one to bed. And if it turns out that Hooker is healthy and capable with an underrated current roster of safeties, I think that's huge. But I want to get back to Jerry and Jason yesterday, because going back to Jerry coming out here and offering the state of the Cowboys, and much has been made of being emotional and getting into the hour-long talk that Jerry had. It was also apparent when he stopped by with us yesterday that this is a very introspective and broad view kind of Jerry. It's obvious there's focus on winning. He wouldn't be doing what he's doing with, signing this guy and having all this happen. But you get the feeling that the camp itself and all of that goes on with this massive circus that is the Dallas Cowboys and training camp is Jerry feeling the length and breadth of what he has accomplished in his life. And he can see so much, and he's very open and emotional about this thing that he's created is now about to be passed on to someone else, that he's coming to the end of this great ride, and he's enjoying all of it. And yesterday, we always call it the car wash when you listen to us. We talk about people entering the car wash and going from interview to interview to interview. You just sit still, and the suds come, and we're going to ask you questions, and in 3 hours, you'll be done. Well, Jerry was doing a mini car wash here. There's 4 radio stations. We're the only one from outside of the well, there's 3 radio stations, and we're the only ones from outside the Metroplex there. And he sat and talked with all of us and spent a long time. And when he talked with us about San Antonio, it was very personal to him. He talked about how San Antonio was such a part of the Cowboy family and all the things that he does. And, he's a master salesman, but more so right now, the importance of the Cowboys has always been Jerry is the Cowboys and the Cowboys are Jerry. Well, I think we're starting to see Jerry starting to separate himself from being the Cowboys and the Cowboys becoming the Cowboys under Steven, and he's enjoying all the stuff that he's doing.
It takes some longer than others to kind of like sit back and realize, like I saw it happen with Tiger Woods. When Tiger went through everything he went through with Elin and he had all that time away, I think he got to sit at home and be like, damn, I've accomplished quite a bit. Let me just enjoy being with my kids and give myself my flowers. I remember Bill Belichick, one of the later Super Bowls. I remember him being like taking it all in, and like Nick Saban, he starts recruiting the next day. He's not there yet. But Jerry, it seems like he's finally gotten there. Like, man, I took this from $80 million to $10 billion. I've won 3 Super Bowls. I'm the biggest brand in all of sports in all of the world. I'm getting older. I've groomed my son. I'm grooming the grandchildren. Maybe I should just start enjoying this some, and just like he got Nikes on, he got his sweats on, he got his hat on, he's just kicking back. And again, he's not giving these 1, 2, 3 word answers and trying to hurry up and move through the car wash. He's actually sitting down, chopping it up with people, just taking it all in. And I was like, to be in the presence of them, and because again, we work in San Antonio. Okay, we got one sports franchise, and it's not easy to get just anybody to talk, let alone the owner to sit down and really care about what you're saying. The eye contact he'd been making with Jason, so it was cool to be a part of it and witness that.
And the Cowboys and Jerry got burned on paying for a safety. I'm going back to to Jerry being, he heard the news. He reads the news. He knows far beyond. I think there was a long time where there was an arrogance that Jerry bought his way in and thought the money would buy him the info, the knowledge, and he had to grow into it. Now he's as savvy a GM as there is anybody out there. He can get who he wants. He negotiates well, and he does it in a way that's always disarming, and you always feel like you were successful, even though Jerry always gets exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
You felt like you got what you wanted and you didn't. He got what he needed, and that was enough. And and the deal gets done, and he's not afraid of that. I mean, that's just how he gets stuff done. The idea of him rolling around in sweats and just kicking back with the dude, he even made light of it.
Apologized for it. I'm like, Jerry, you wear what you want to wear. He's like, sorry, I look a little off. I'm like, man, you could look at how you want to.
Literally, Jerry yesterday wearing what he did, he could have walked into Target and maybe somebody might have
would have known him.
No, he just looked like a regular dude. He looked like my granddad.
Yeah. And how about Minix? Jerry's sitting here praising San Antonio. I love it. And here comes Minix. Well, I love San Antonio too, Jerry, but don't move training camp from Ventura.
Don't come back. We like it here. He was
like, don't come back. We like it here. I'm like, wow, Jason, But, I know some San Antonio people like, oh, well, then why don't they bring, I got that comment, I posted the picture. Like, well, why doesn't he come back here? Why didn't he come back here? I don't know. But if you ever come out here,
you'll know
why. You'll know why it may not come back to the Alamo Dome.
And it is kicking in today. The sun is finally rising. It is 6:25 in the morning down next to the tennis courts. It is a full day of training camp here in Oxnard. 2 practices. Fans will be here. The circus will be in play. And, of course, we'll be chasing it live. We've got many guests to come over the next week as San Antonio sports star R&R in the morning, the halftime, and the Blitz will be coming to you with all the Dallas Cowboy training camp coverage that you can possibly stand. When we come back, the Deshaun Watson news, it continues to be interesting. We've got a couple more accusers coming out of the woodwork. The San Antonio Spurs and the draft is Thursday night. We had a big NBA trade. Some names that you'll recognize did change jerseys, and some trade picks were switched. It does affect the Spurs. The number 10 pick now is sitting with the Memphis Grizzlies. What is San Antonio going to do? And Team USA, yes, they are very good, but are they good enough? Our favorites have stumbled out of the blocks. We have Simone Biles news for you as well. Lots to talk about. You're on R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN and AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, and in the NFL, Deshaun Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardness, told ESPN that 10 women have filed complaints to the Houston Police Department against Watson, including 2 that were not involved in the original civil suits against him. In college football, the Longhorns and Sooners officially notified the Big 12 in a joint statement they will not renew their grant of rights agreement with the league when it expires in 2025, and they're expected to apply for SEC membership. In Major League Baseball, the Astros blew a 7-0 lead in their opener against the Seattle Mariners, falling 11-8. A series they'll continue tonight at 9:10, while the Rangers return to action after the day off, looking to snap a 12-game losing streak when they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch is set for 7:05, a game you can catch right here on your home for Rangers baseball. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
O'Reilly. When it's a warm day and your car's AC is blowing hot air, you need some relief. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and talk to our professional parts people about AC Pro refrigerant recharge kits for your vehicle. Buy now and you'll get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate. Keep cool this summer with AC Pro refrigerant at O'Reilly Auto Parts, in store or at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tune in to The Blitz today for the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Catch up on the latest injuries and how it'll affect your team. The Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online at TSAOG.com.
Distracted driving doesn't give second chances. To see her first steps, see him scoring the winning touchdown, marrying the one you love, or celebrating 25 years of joy.
I'm Thomas J. Henry. Today, distracted driving is the #1 cause of catastrophic auto collisions and the end of life's dreams. It's best to put the phone down until you arrive or pull off the road safely.
San Antonio, Texas.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/LOVE.
Don't wait until you think you have a problem with your water before calling Alamo Water Softeners. Hi, Jason Minix here. Have Alamo Water Softeners come out to your house and give you a free water analysis and free estimate. Get free basic installation with the purchase of select new water softeners. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Having a water softener, it's a necessity, not a luxury. So discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Sometimes watching a flawless serve can make you realize, wait a minute, I think I might love tennis. So you get 2% cash back on rackets, 2% cash back on shoes, 2% cash back on gear, tennis balls, lessons. And before you know it, you've got a decent backhand. I do have a decent backhand. Get unlimited 2% cash back on purchases and be ready for your next passion with the new Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa Card. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., all rights reserved.
Sports breakfast for your ears. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning. A little kimchi barbecue. Southern recipe small batch pork rinds. The breakfast of champions. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Right. Sitting on the tennis courts in Oxnard, California, your Dallas Cowboy Training Camp Coverage continues. It's funny how all of our sports are overlapping in this COVID time. We've got the Olympics going on, which I miss. I wish I had a TV in front of me right now to catch up on Olympic rowing. I haven't, I'm a big aficionado.
You did give a rowing breakdown last night at dinner.
All I was saying is I prefer when the rowing, when everybody, you only have one paddle and you use two hands as opposed to the two paddle types. I think the one paddle one, when you have like 8 guys, I think you go. To me, I just find that more interesting.
Full transparency, didn't your youngest get a rowing scholarship offer?
Well, he got an offer aside, but it was more about the body type than it was his rowing prowess, because he's never been on a boat or done any of that. But yeah, he was at a basketball tournament, and there was a crew coach that was just out scouting body types, and he was like, "You're exactly the type that we're looking for, and we can put you on scholarship, and you can row the boat, and you can, great things will happen." Well, my son was like, "What are you talking about?"
Isn't that most rowers?
I don't know. I get the feeling you'd been raised on the water.
And he's still young. When he's our age, 44, 50, he'll be telling that story at dinner and over drinks. Like, hey, that's when we love our accomplishments when we get older. He'll be like, hey, man, I was recruited for a rowing team. I never done it one day in my life. Like, you don't tell those type of stories. You don't get it. Like, yo, you know what? That was pretty damn cool that I got recruited to be your row crew, and I never row crew. You don't get it until you're an old man and nobody gives a damn about you.
You can get offered until you show up. And there might have been 40 other dudes that look the same. Like,
it don't matter. He got offered.
Now, only about 8 of y'all going to be here tonight. Yeah. So I hope you have a good day. Yeah. The Olympics have kind of started to with a stagger. I mean, it's still the Olympics, and the United States is going to come home with the most goals. What's the medal count, James?
Well, U.S. is now trailing in the gold medal count, 10-9. That's right. Japan, who just won softball gold over the United States, took the lead with 10 gold medals. United States and China tied with 9. The Republic of Russia or whatever is in 4th with 7, and Great Britain with 4 to round out the top 5 in gold medals. U.S. leads the overall medal count, 25. China right behind with 21. Japan and Russia with 18. U.S. has both 8 in silver and gold medals, along with their 9 golds.
And the USA softball team just went down to the Japanese.
And USA gymnastics team went down to Russia in the team.
And Simone Biles did not compete in the team final.
Left after the vault.
Left after the vault with a medical issue. And the vault is her thing, man.
Yeah.
The girl can.
Everything is her thing, but the vault is her thing.
The U.S. men lost the backstroke race for the first time in 92.
Since 92, right? So why aren't we outraged? Like, if the U.S. men's basketball team ends up not winning the gold, it's an outrage. So, but the backstroke, no big deal. It's the first time we lost since 92. Shouldn't we be outraged?
I'm outraged. Can't you tell?
I can't tell.
I'm furious.
You've been smiling for 2 hours. I don't know what you ate this morning.
I just had a little bit of my cheesecake.
Oh,
what I had in some kimchi barbecue pork rinds.
Pork rinds.
That's what we had. The
men's backstroke. Is that the backstroke? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Backstroke.
And what I'm not upset. And what we've also learned is, in the time of bubble and no fandom, the outcomes are skewed. It's not exactly what we'd expected. We saw it with the NBA bubble. So I think that the Japanese kind of front-loaded the Olympics. I think they loaded up early.
Absolutely.
For some sports that they could pull some medals in to kind of calm the populace down who didn't want any of this to even happen. Because I wouldn't have thought, when I think Summer Olympics, I don't think Japan. I just don't think of them as a powerhouse.
I got you.
So I think they front-loaded a little bit. We're going to end up with plenty of medals. It's the surprising ones, the ones that were really promoted that we expect, I think, is what we're devastated by. The women's national soccer team.
Struggling. 1-1-1.
Now, I don't know how to put this. Do you think they're playing as badly as Team USA basketball? They have.
Wow.
They are. They're the gold standard, just as Team USA basketball is the gold standard. And to come out and get smoked by Sweden, which in a bubble or in a vacuum isn't embarrassing. Sweden's good. But then to come back and show what you're capable of and just house New Zealand and then come back with a tie. Was it a tie?
Tie against Australia.
Come on.
So we got lucky advancing to the knockout round.
I think that the women's national soccer team deserves at least as much, if not more, abuse and anger or, concern than the basketball team.
But you see, that's the thing, when we start talking about equality, as far as sports, how it's covered, this and that, when it's negative, they're not getting the heat.
No,
they're not going to get the heat that the men get just because it's not many people paying attention to it. And that's, some of the things.
Well, are we afraid to? Am I allowed to call out Megan Rapinoe for getting fat and happy with all of her TV gigs and all that stuff and watching this team deteriorate just by celebrating and doing what everybody should be doing? She's earned this.
I definitely walk on eggshells on certain topics. And, that's one of them. You got to be careful what you say.
Because if it was any other athlete in any other sport that strove and tried and then became great at it and then brought the sport to preeminence for an entire country, I expect those that did it to benefit from it. So I'm happy that she's getting all that stuff but it is obvious that iron sharpens iron, and she ain't dealing with iron. She is not hungry. This team didn't wake up going, if we don't win the Olympics, my career in life is over. Yeah. They woke up thinking, well, I got to get this Olympic thing done because I got to go back and make a potato chip commercial. I got to go back and kick a sandwich around.
Yeah, no, when any athlete, especially male athlete, free agent year goes crazy, gets paid, and then has a couple of years where they don't look so good, we tear them apart. Like, oh, you got your money and you got soft. You didn't care anymore. You're not as hungry. Can you say that about the women's team and be fair? I think we can say that. I don't have a problem saying that. If they don't end up winning it all, I think we would say that that's not disrespectful or, sexist at all. It's just saying what it is. When you're the best, you haven't lost a game in Lord knows how long. You get your accolades, you get your money, you get your recognition, and then you fall off. We're allowed to say what we've seen.
When Osaka was ousted as well out of the third round. Now, she spoke to the press.
She did.
When she won at the Olympics. I mean, she progressed through the tournament. She spoke to the press a couple times with her 2 earlier wins.
Okay.
But when she lost.
Oh, she didn't speak?
Didn't speak. Another touchy subject. How far and how much should be expected?
That's using she's the best, and she's flexing her muscles on us. Like, hey, I don't feel like talking today. I'm not going to.
Now, I understand the mental health side of being a professional athlete. But if LeBron James only spoke to us after wins and after losses, said, it's too mentally draining on me. I can't talk about it with you. And leaves.
We destroy him.
We would utterly destroy him. At what point do we allow Naomi to get well, or at least to find a treatment program that keeps her issues in check and can allow her to continue to meet her obligations as a professional tennis player? How long do we let her do that as part of the media?
Look, I don't even know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know who's going to be the first one to step in and go, hey, wait a minute now. There are some things that you are required to do as a professional athlete so that the publicity that your sponsors are paying you for continues. And one of them is you got to talk to us when you lose.
Yeah. And I would think you would want to show up when you lose just to, that's a character. And I'm not saying that she lacks character. I'm just saying that's when we find out, really who these athletes are. Because I'm looking at them as athletes. They're athletes. Forget the gender, right? That's what we're supposed to do in today's age. Like, I'm just looking at her as a professional athlete, one of the best to ever do it, one of the best in the game. And not showing up after loss doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And we should be allowed to say that. I love Naomi. I told you I just watched the Netflix special. Great little special, and they let you know she is dealing with some things you can see in the Netflix special. But you talk after wins, not after loss, no bueno. That's not good, and we should be allowed to criticize her for it.
Even Kawhi made a commercial.
Did he?
Talking about quicksand.
Oh, That dude's still weird. And
I mean, at least he came out of the shell to benefit his sponsors.
Like Minix told us yesterday, Clippers, good luck.
Absolutely. Clippers, good luck.
Good luck.
Naomi Osaka out. Simone Biles injured and out, at least in the final. Be careful. Best made plans. The Olympics are going to go on with or without. We're going to, when it's all said and done, I think we're all going to be quite happy that they did it. But, all of the plans that I think that were going to be executed when the Olympics were done to celebrate the greatness of, you never know what's going to happen. And we come back. We are live from Oxnard. We'll catch you up on all things Dallas Cowboy Training Camp. Malik Hooker, soon to be a Dallas Cowboy. The news released here on the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, the Blitz with Jason Minix. Jerry sat down yesterday, broke a little bit of news there. We're looking around the rest of the NFL with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay and catching you up on the Deshaun Watson saga. Coming back live here from Oxnard. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
A 17-week season and only one couch. Let's hope it holds up. The Cowboys are back. The explosive action happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
At CDW, we get the people who need to sign here aren't always here.
Tell me about it. I'm always chasing down signatures. I go through pens and shoes like chewing gum.
Sounds like you need Adobe Sign orchestrated by CDW to securely automate e-signatures and workflows across devices from anywhere. Integrating with existing tools, Sign can save your organization time, money, and miles.
Thank goodness I can finally take these shoes off.
No. Back on. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Adobe Sign.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Don't get caught in this San Antonio heat with no AC. Save Service First AC repair in your phone and have an AC tech on speed dial 24/7. 521-1500. For a limited time, save Service First AC repair in your contacts and get half off your service call and a free summer tune-up. For more details, call 521-1500. That's 521-1500. Service First AC repair and plumbing.
Have Service First in your phone. 521-1500.
License number TACLA 27100C.
Great values are happening now during Lowe's Pro Summer Savings. Stop by the Pro Desk and get an extra 5% off volume savings orders over $1,500. Plus, look for limited time values across the store, including tools, appliances, and other pro essentials to help you get the job done right. Shop today at Lowe's, the new home for pros. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Terms and exclusions apply. See Pro Desk in store for details. Now through July 30th. U.S. only.
Who doesn't want instant gratification? If you're looking for satisfaction, there's no need to wait. With Credit Karma Money, you could win cash reimbursements for debit card purchases. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. Just go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant Karma. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. Banking services provided by MVB Bank Incorporated. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's Max Kellerman. Listen weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the morning. Welcome aboard San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Go check us out live at sasportstar.com. You can comment and talk with us in a variety of ways. The Kielbasa Bacon phone line's always available to you. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. On the Twitters at RudyJ_star. I'm at Rob Thompson, ESPN, and at James Pledger, or I am Pledger, excuse me. Coming to you from Dallas Cowboys training camps. The long Wisconsin nightmare has finally come to an end.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers' ongoing effort to remain relevant and in the news might have come to an end today. Karen has arrived at the Packer training camp. Natalie attired in flip-flops and a man bun.
No, he wasn't.
He is coming to work. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Check your WhatsApp.
He did not.
Check your WhatsApp, Rudy.
Okay.
Which was the plan all along. Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to miss this year. He wasn't going to miss training camp. He got Devontae Adams a raise. He got his boy some money. You know, they had come to an impasse. Devontae was going to want out or have to deal with a franchise tag. Aaron called up and said, I'll come back. All I ask is you pay Devontae and get me a big old heaping helping of Randall Cobb. And if you'll do that and pay me $40 million a year, I too will stay and be a Green Bay Packer for one more year.
Yo, it pays to have good friends. And I just saw the video of the flip-flop. That is so Cali. Like, I saw 30 of those guys at the Ventura Pier yesterday. 30 of them. So Aaron is so Cali. But this is what I'll say. A lot has been made of. I've seen the guys on television. If I'm his teammate, I run up to him and give him a big old hug. Glad to have you back. Let's go get this money. Let's go get back to the NFC title game. There isn't anybody they could have brought in. Because the better your team is, the more everybody gets paid anyways. And there's nobody they could have brought in that's going to take them to 2 straight NFC title games. Is Aaron Karen? Is Aaron a diva? Does Aaron think he's better than everybody else on the team? Absolutely. And guess what? He's right. And sometimes in life, you just got and we got too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Too many alpha males. Like sometimes you just got to sit back and be like, hey, he's the man. This is his world. We're just living in it. And I got a better opportunity to get paid if Aaron's on this team. You get your playoff checks. You get on national television more. Your free agent money goes up because you're better as a team. And you look better even though you might not be that good. So, I've seen all the former players. If I was his teammate, I wouldn't want to be around him. Well, I guess that's why I'm not a pro athlete, because I would fully understand that, certain guys going to get – Jimmy Johnson taught us the best. There's certain guys you cut when they sleep. And there's certain guys, if it's Troy Aikman, you wake them up. you go over there, you wake them up. That's life. Why are we acting like certain people don't get special privileges? Aaron is one of those people that's earned special privileges, even though it's annoying. I'm going to make fun of him, and I'm going to have fun with it. But when he's in that pocket, there's nobody really better except Tom.
I have the feeling that he was in contact pretty much with his team leaders. I think that
the important
dudes
players
that disseminate the information that everybody on the team respected.
You think so?
I do. Because we haven't heard anything from any other Packers.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody has really come out and called him out. I mean, this is your quarterback, and if you feel like he's leaving, it gets a lot easier to call him out. Like, dude, for real, be a pro. Understand that, everybody's job is limited. I don't care how good you are. Somebody's coming for it. And they drafted your replacement. Get over it. So, but we didn't hear that. Everybody just kind of had his back, and not only did he hold out and get himself more money, he's going to get Devontae Adams paid too. So he helped out his team, and now he's showing up for work, and he's going to get to go play someplace else. And I'll go ahead and say it now.
What's that?
The Packers are going to find out a way to keep him. He's going to retire a Packer.
So then what we're doing with our first-round draft pick, Bryce Love, we're just going to let him sit for 5 years?
There's nothing wrong with admitting a mistake.
He turns into Will Muschamp?
I think so. Exactly right. I think you're the heir apparent, and you can go hone your craft someplace else. And maybe 10 years we might talk to you again. I think this was a power play for him to end a contract. He successfully negotiated any way for Green Bay to hold on to him, but it didn't negotiate away their ability to negotiate yet again. Right. They cleared the slate. I get the feeling that he'll end up staying a Green Bay Packer. We'll put it in the book before he even puts on his helmet and has his first practice.
Rob. Go with your gut.
Go with my gut. I got a question. You're talking about some guys being more equal than others. Yesterday, of course, we're out here at camp, and it's a day off, so we didn't see the guys. I said, the sun's just now coming up. On our clock, it's 5 till 7.
Okay.
And I've seen a bunch of guys running around. If you were running training camp, would you have wake-up calls for your team? Or would you just say, be at the meeting at 8:05?
Look, I'm giving you your schedule. I'm Mike McCarthy, and I'm expecting you to be an adult and be where you're supposed to be 5 minutes early. Like Tom Coughlin used to say, if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. So I'm expecting you to be where you're supposed to be. But if Micah Parsons is a little bit late, I might be like, hey, man, make sure he knows his schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like Amari Cooper's a little bit late. Dak, Zeke, hey, fellas, let's set a good example. Get here on time. All right, get it. Now, the undrafted free agent that's trying to make special teams, I make an example out of him if he's a minute late. And I say, and I have him pack his bags. Hopefully he lands on his feet elsewhere. But again, we live in a privileged society. I can't change the rules. I'm just Rudy J. He's just Rob Thompson. He's just James Pletcher. It's R&R in the morning. We don't make the rules. We just live by them. We just live by them. Certain people get to do certain things. But in all seriousness, Rob, you've been a coach. How are you handling training camp? Are you just handing out itinerary? You waking up people? You've been through this.
I would like to think that camp was engineered to be competitive on its own. And there's so much that I have to get done that I can't waste time, even a minute. Seriously, these guys are scheduled to the minute. When we see camp today, you're going to see the whistle blows and people are hauling ass to the next drill, to the next thing. There ain't no time to waste. They look at camp. There is no calendar. It's not Tuesday in their world. It is practice day 4. That's what it is. And I got in day 4, by the end of 4 and the beginning of 5, I have to have all of this crap done. The foundation has to be built because by the time we get to practice 7, all of what we're doing in 4 should be old hat. That stuff should have already been there. I can't waste time waiting on an idiot.
Babysitting.
Yeah. So I have wake up calls. I have dudes banging on doors. Everybody's gonna be there because the train's gonna leave the station. I can't take some time to go deal with this crap. I got work to do. So I would probably engineer the camp. I would certainly notice tardiness. I would notice laissez-faire attitudes, but it would be settled. Everything would be done on the practice field.
So you'd rather have somebody making sure everyone's there on time so we get the work done.
I like
done. I like that approach.
I'd like to approach, whether the guys that I keep, most of it on the field, and the rest of it, what my guy in the room.
Like no wasting time trying to figure out who's going to be on time. Yeah. Like everybody go get to where they're supposed to be and let's get this work in.
Like I'm like Jimmy. If you can make a play, I can put up with something. If you can do it, I can put up with a lot of stuff off the field because at the end of the day, I get paid for W's. That's I get paid for that and that only. I don't get paid for you being in great standing in your community. I get paid to win.
Jimmy let his stars get away with crazy amount of stuff.
Hence the White House stories. Coming back, more stories from Oxnard. Deshaun Watson still be in some trouble, even though he's coming to work. Aaron Rodgers, well, he is at work and evidently awfully happy. And the Spurs, what are they going to do now? Memphis jumped up to number 10 in a very interesting trade. The draft, well, that's 2 days away. How much does that weigh into what the Spurs do in the free agency market? We will look at what the Spurs might be chasing if they move up and give you the insight on what the Pelicans and the Grizzlies actually pulled off 2 days before the draft. Hang with us. This is R&R in the Morning, and you are on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents the 2021 Cowboys Training Camp on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. Powered by Ewald Kubota and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown. Another bounces left. Stiff arm. Walk the dog. Touchdown. See, got it.
360-degree coverage on air, online, and on site from Oxnard. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you're rethinking your office, retail, or warehouse space for your business, the last thing you want to do is overpay the landlord, but it happens every day. I'm Scott McMurray at Bottom Line Realty Advisors here in San Antonio, and we work with business people like you who want to have an effective strategy for their next real estate decision, whether it's leasing or buying a building. Your landlord has representation, and you should too. Even if you're a good tenant with no plans to move at all, you're the most vulnerable to getting a really bad deal. Here at Bottom Line Realty Advisors, we only represent you, never landlords. If you're rethinking your office, retail, or warehouse lease, we'll help you negotiate from a position of strength.
Having Bottom Line Realty on your side doesn't cost you a dime. Contact Bottom Line Realty Advisors at 210-535-7800 and tell them Dave sent you.
Bottom Line Realty Advisors, we get the landlord off your bottom line.
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for fur babies. If you think it's been hard being stuck at home for a year, think about your dog. It's been 7 years for them, and they deserve to get out and sniff the world too. So grab Daisy, Ranger, or Doodles and hit the road. But be sure to stick your head out the window and look for a Motel 6. And like all pets, Baxter stays free. Hot dog. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Running a business comes with pressure. Remote workforces, HR compliance, retaining top talent. You start to feel boxed in. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30 plus years of HR service and technology to work, offering my employees competitive benefit options while lightening my HR load. Instead of obstacles, I'm surrounded by people empowered to be their best. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Save now on Pro Essentials with Lowe's Pro Summer Savings. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each priced $396 or more. You'll also find savings on tools and more throughout the store. At Lowe's, the new home for pros. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 through 8/4. U.S. only.
O'Reilly.
This is Claudia's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
I had just moved to a new city and barely even knew where the grocery store was yet. When my car wouldn't start one morning, I didn't know who to ask about local shops. But I remembered a name from back home, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I called and they pointed me to a great mechanic just down the street. Now I feel a little more at home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything it has at you, and to succeed, you need someone to guide you through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice to help you navigate whatever challenges you're up against and get you safely to where you want to be. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
Gonna miss you around here, Iris.
Olivia's best optometry technician is going back to school.
Did we get that new frame?
Her eye is already twitching about finding a replacement.
Ugh, this can't keep happening. We're gonna have to cancel appointments.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Screen for quality candidates with the skills your role needs with Indeed assessments. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Our boys are joining the boys. Cowboys Training Camp, live from Oxnard, California.
It's R&R in the morning. Welcome aboard the train. You'll watch us live. We are broadcasting at sasportstar.com. You can check us out on our Facebook feed at San Antonio Sports Star, our YouTube channel. We want you to be a part of our Cowboy Training Camp. If you tuned in right now in the upper right-hand corner, you'd see Rudy J sitting next to me, though above me there. Proper place, I think. James Pledger sitting there in the radio ranch inside the double pane glass. And I'm Rob Thompson. This hour, we're talking lots about the Dallas Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Ewok Kubota One Fine Tractor. The Cowboy Camp, boy, it's picking up today. You can just feel the energy. Everybody got a day off, their first day off since they got to camp. They're going to practice 3 consecutive days. Tomorrow, they will be in pads. Friday, they will take a day off and start full-on prep for the Hall of Fame game. Their first game next week as they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had Jerry Jones on yesterday afternoon, sat in our little tent in the roving Star Studios, I guess we'd call them. And Jerry sat down, had a nice long conversation with Jason Minix. We were awfully proud to say
minutes.
It was like at least that, as Jerry stopped by with his contingent of crew. He dropped a bit of news. We found out that they have offered, and evidently Malik Hooker had passed his physical, an important physical, I'd say, in the history and the arc of Cowboy time, because I think he's going to be a significant addition to the Cowboys. And one of the things that was part of the conversation with Jason. It really flabbergasted Rudy. Jason did not pull any punches talking about the defense, saying it was historically bad, I believe was the quote. But the focus that Jerry has put on the defense has really been remarkable to me, because that has really been an afterthought. He would draft the likes of Jalen Smith in the second round, because I think more than the talent that we saw before the injury, it was Jerry had a project, and it felt good to go get him. And, if he turned it around and spiffed it up and did what great businessmen do, make a profit on a flip, then that, I think Jerry's drawn to that kind of stuff. So while he drafted Jalen Smith, I don't think he would have. The story wouldn't have been as good. So the draft pick might not have been made. So I think he liked that. But over this offseason, boy, he has focused on it. But that still continues to be a position, or at least a part of the problem for the Cowboys. There's positions of need and doubt, and Jerry still understands where he is and where he needs to focus his money and his attitude as a general manager.
Yeah, he didn't he wasn't offended by Jason saying that, and he, kind of addressed it head on. If you watch on Facebook Live, when Jason says last year historically bad defense, I was kind of like,
well, it's
I kind of backed out. I slid behind the curtain, Pledge, and ducked out. But I give Jason props. He didn't throw all softballs to him, and I give props to Jerry for being like, hey, you know what? You pretty much. He didn't say that, but in other words, he was like, you're right, and we addressed it.
Had to fire my coach. Do we have the sound, James?
Yeah,
Let's pull that
Jason
up.
actually asked him about the defense being historically bad, and he talked about all the emphasis that's been placed through the draft and kind of free agency about kind of addressing those needs on defense, and then asked him what he's still concerned about with that area on the defensive side of the ball.
I think I would have to say our secondary, although, and I say that because of Randy Gregory's prominence. You see it initially here at camp, but we've seen it. He could be a very significant dominating force for us and influence what's going on with when you got somebody that does that, and then you put DeMarcus Lawrence out there, and then you start adding, they complementing each other with the other, what a great player does. So Randy Gregory's going to make a big difference. Our first round pick, Parsons, that's a lot now to put on a rookie's shoulders to say that he can help your team that much, but he's extraordinary. And because of the position, his size, if you will, his physical characteristics, and his unique explosion, he's going to be able to fit in many places that frustrate the quarterback or frustrate the offense. And so those two right there that we didn't see last year, and didn't see them in Randy's case used like that, those are going to make a difference. The secondary that I mentioned was my biggest concern, is where we've built the best competition. And that's where we got a lot of talent back there. We've got a lot of size, got a lot of length for secondaries. All of that has a chance to really develop into what we want. One thing to note is our depth at linebacker, where we've really loaded up in linebackers that can run and basically cover and cover receivers. Those guys are going to do a lot to help our secondary too.
That was Jerry Jones yesterday on the Blitz. You can catch the full interview at the AA Best Bail Bonds audio vel at sasportstar.com, or go to SA Sports Star's YouTube page and just watch the video. Now, yesterday, y'all brought up the fact that Chandler Jones wanting out of Arizona, and should the Cowboys, if they're in a win now situation, go after Chandler Jones. With Jerry Jones' answer about the secondary still being the most concerning part of the defense, should they instead look for camp holdouts like Xavier Howard in Miami or Stephon Gilmore in New England as potential trade targets instead, if they really wanted to go all in?
Well, I think Xavier Howard is way too expensive. I think he has a case. He's maybe right behind Jalen Ramsey as far as the best corner in the league. And we'll have to see what happens with Surtain, because I'm hearing people go crazy about him. Stephen Gilmore, maybe he seems like more of an affordable piece. And Bill Belichick, when he's done with you, he's done with you. So that makes sense. And from what I heard from Jerry in that interview yesterday, they're excited about Randy Gregory. And they want depth. So to answer your question, Pledge, I would say probably go secondary over well, in their eyes. But if it's me, I'm going after Chandler Jones. I think the pass rush is more important. But from where they're sitting, it seemed like they'd be more interested in secondary depth.
What does Louis Riddick love to say about putting together a team? You build a football team from the inside out and from front to back.
See, we agree then, Rob.
And as much as I covet a lockdown corner, you don't have to have that to be a great football team. It helps, but it moves you forward and it covers some other deficiencies, but it's not the primary issue of need. I'd rather have a turnover corner than a shutdown corner. I'd rather have a guy that will give me maybe 3 extra possessions every 5 games because of a play other than a shutdown corner.
I think Howard had 10 picks last year, so he's one of those.
I love Xavier Howard.
Yeah.
But then there's the cost factor.
I don't want to give up 2 ones.
And I think that's what it would cost to have that kind of guy. And then you look at Chandler Jones, and I covet a guy like that. I covet a guy that dominates between the hash marks. I don't care how you dominate. I don't care if you're in another team's backfield, if you're stuffing the run, if you're defending inside those. If you dominate the hash marks, that's owning a team inside out and front to back. I like that idea. But Jerry's response was, well, Randy Gregory, and we got a crap load of linebackers that can run.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones is not in the plans. I mean,
no, but the thing you said yesterday about Chandler that I loved, you said he takes up space.
Yes.
And he takes on, it takes 2-3 guys. Like that frees up so much for everyone else. It makes everyone else's job easier, but you're right.
He's dominating his role inside the hash marks. If you're taking up 3 dudes, you're dominating your role and you're dominating that position.
Right.
And he's fully capable of it. But when he responded, hey, we got Randy Gregory, which really is an unknown quantity. And we do know that when he is motivated and dialed in, Randy Gregory's a football player.
No, he's
not an all-pro. I don't have unreasonable expectations of him, but right now I think he's appropriate for the Cowboys' place in the salary cap world. But I think the key to this defense, after finding a Malik Hooker and expecting him to be healthy and capable of playing, is going to be how the linebackers are used. All of these great athletes that we now see lined up. There are 4 guys back there that can do several things. We don't have one-trick ponies. You got guys that can run from sideline to sideline. You've got guys that can cover. You've got a new safety that looks like a linebacker that you can play as a linebacker. So that's going to be the key to this defense. How is the pressure going to be applied? Are these linebackers going to live in the backfield? Are they going to range from side to side, running this kind of zone where nobody gets past or over? I mean, how exactly? You expect to see the Legion of Boom defense. You expect to see these guys flying around like crazy. And if you can do that, then you don't necessarily need to have a Chandler Jones.
Great point.
And I think that's the plan.
I think they want depth as well. I think like maybe we don't have Khalil Mack. Maybe we don't have whoever the best linebacker is in the game. Maybe we don't have Jamal Adams. But if we have a bunch of guys that can all do different things and we can plug in, Dan Quinn can plug in different guys here and there, then we're just as good. And then maybe you have somebody that with the breakout year. So I like the depth factor as well because he said our depth at linebacker. He said we got a lot of guys back there in the secondary, and now it's in Dan Quinn's court.
As you're heading to that meeting that you've been preparing for, as you sit down and break the ice, sports are going to come up. You're going to have to talk about it. And, Jackson, he thinks he knows his stuff, but he probably hasn't listened to the brand new R&R in the morning and won't be fully informed. James Pledger's been busy all morning making sure you've got the headlines to carry you through the halftime, which starts at noon. It is time for the 411 and the 210.
Thanks, Rob. Starting off our top headline today. Headline 2, Aaron Rodgers back in Green Bay as they came to a whole bunch of, let's say, agreements to help ease his concerns with the organizations, including having the 2023 Aaron Rodgers contract, the last one on his current deal, voided with no tags allowed in the future. It would allow the Packers to review Rodgers' situation at the end of the season. Rodgers' contract would be adjusted with no loss of income to the Packers, giving them more cap room now to go get players like, former wide receivers that might have been signed to a very hefty contract by a Bill O'Brien. And also mechanisms in place that would address Rodgers' issues with the team. Guess what? Also, Devontae Adams has returned to the negotiating table with the Packers after all of this has come down.
Shocking.
And now, after talks apparently went bad over the weekend.
Shocking. And I'm so mad at Aaron's outfit. The bun, the man bun, the flip-flops.
Oh, it's Cali.
The backpack. And then don't forget the backpack.
Oh, yeah. The perfectly strapped backpack.
Yeah, dude.
His girlfriend, Wifestress, is she's an actress, right?
Yeah.
Is she?
What's her name?
I don't know her.
Anyway, he's adopted the lifestyle. But he's a Cali boy.
Shaylee
anyway,
Woodley.
Right? Yeah.
But he's still a walking 40 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So
with 4,500 yards.
You know, I've already thrown it down there, and I'm going to stick with it until, tomorrow. But as I sit right now, I think that the drama's done. The goal was reached. Aaron had his dastardly plan, this Machiavellian 6-month bizarro. I'll host Jeopardy, or I'll just go off and do good deeds like I'm the grasshopper or whatever. I don't know what, but he got paid. He shortened the contract. Do you think it will be let's go get it, or is this going to be a circus all season long, depending on how the Packers are doing, whether they're winning or losing, and whether Aaron is on an MVP pace again?
That's the thing. Whenever in any sport, MLB, NBA, NFL, when it's someone's free agent year, as far away as you want to get from it, the media's going to keep asking. Like, you jump out to 10-0, hey, Aaron, if y'all win it all, do you plan on coming back? Hey, Aaron, is the season not going so well? You plan on coming back? That's going to be the question. We saw The Last Dance. How many times did they ask Mike in 98? And he was like, dude, how many times are you going to ask me this? Like, stop it. So, circus, no. Annoying to have to keep answering that same question every Sunday? Absolutely. Do you want to be here? Do you want to retire, Packer, Aaron?
Our second headline of the day for the 411 and the 210.
What's that?
A little bit new. Earlier this morning, we talked about Jeremy Woo of Sports Illustrated before yesterday's Memphis trade that the Spurs had explored moving up into the top 10. Well, according to Jake L. Fisher of Bleacher Report, San Antonio and Indiana are considered prime candidates to trade back into the mid-teens or early 20s in this year's draft for the right value. The Spurs currently sit at 12, and Houston has already been involved in discussions with Indiana, reportedly for the 13th pick in exchange for Eric Gordon and their 23rd pick.
Gosh.
So are they going up? Are they going down? What are the Spurs doing, guys?
Who was the first guy? Woo?
Yes. Jeremy Woo of Sports Illustrated.
Okay, I'm going to go with Woo. Like, I love Bleacher Report's graphics. I think their graphics team is the best. But as far as breaking news, I'm gonna put y'all to the side. But I love y'all. I rock with y'all. I follow y'all on Instagram. Just stick to the graphics. I'm gonna roll with Woo and say they're trying to move up. No hate to Bleacher Report. No hate. Just how I feel. I'm just one man.
If they move up, there's a guy. It's a guy. If they move up, they feel like they've done their due diligence and they know what the other teams are doing, and there's a guy to go get, and there's a guy or the team just behind them that wants that guy. But to fit the Spurs narrative, I believe the trade back scenario much more likely.
I mean, you're just going off the credit report.
Well, I don't think that the Spurs, because of the last 20 years, and I know Brian Wright's brought some fresh perspective on GMing and finding talent. They've never had to, they've always searched for a type, found that type, and then made them into Spurs type. It wasn't about the player. It was more about the type and where they could find them. And now you start getting into the the lottery. It's not about types anymore. It's about the guy, the player. I think sometimes the Spurs are more comfortable getting back later in the draft and having 4 dudes that's their type so they can continue to work their plan instead of hoping against hope that the guy they love they're going to be able to get. And then what happens if that guy's gone and there's 8 guys that fit their type that they could have traded back for future value? Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think they overthink it, and if they're going to move up, it will be to get someone, that guy. And I don't know who that guy is because I'm not quite sure which way Pop goes. And we start talking Spurs, you think what the decisions made today are going to be implemented by somebody other than Pop, I get the feeling. So how much a role does he play in the decision making? Because if he's picking, that's a completely different player than maybe what Brian Wright sees as the future that somebody else is going to be coaching.
I know we got one more headline real quick, Pledge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still don't know who Brian Wright is, and I don't think we will while Pop and Buford are here. I don't know. Is he really being who Brian Wright is, or is he still heavily influenced by Buford and Pop and trying to keep them happy as well?
What do you think?
I don't think we've seen the real Brian Wright.
We'll get into that. Let's close up the headlines.
Just to finish this off, just as a reminder, the Spurs have worked out a ton of guards in regards to looking for a type.
Okay.
So our top headline of the day, though, Deshaun Watson saga continues with the Texans as after he reported to camp over the weekend and continues to push for a trade out of Houston. Watson's own attorney, Rusty Hardin, told ESPN that 10 women have made complaints to the Houston Police Department against him, including 2 of those which are not involved in the 22 civil cases against him currently.
The 411 and the 210. James Pledger collates them, gets them ready for you every day. We do it in the teens. Make sure you continue to listen here on R&R in the morning. That's why Deshaun went to camp. That it was a preemptive move. And keep in mind, in criminal trials, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil trials, when you're suing for something other than some kind of criminal act, all you have to prove is you just got to be 51% right. You just got to be more right, and you can move.
So true, Rob. So true.
Rusty says, I want to see the 2 that have gone to the cops. That's where the meat on the bone is. And when those are the cases that the police and the district attorney are going to decide, yeah, we got something to prosecute here. There's something to go after. Yeah. The civil stuff, while you can be compelled to testify, and you don't have to testify in the criminal trial, it's almost easier to win because you can throw enough doubt and you can make your opponent look as bad as you do. And I don't know which way Rusty is headed in this, but showing up for training camp played a role in what the next step is. I firmly believe that. Thanks, James, for the 411 and the 210. Make sure you're catching it on the teens all morning long on R&R in the morning from 7 to 10 right here on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. The Spurs and their activity. Boy, I felt like last year, or 2 years ago, was one of the most important drafts. You just could see it. It was going to be a huge draft. The Spurs had 2 number 1 draft picks, had one at 19, one at 30, and if they did it right, things were going to work out perfectly. And they got ass backwards into a perfect draft. To grab Keldon Johnson, your current Olympian, at number 30 will appear to be genius, though those of us who have followed the Spurs will look at that draft and go, God, you got lucky. You took Luka at 19. If you'd have flipped it, you'd still would have looked like a genius. So that went well. Last year, they bring in Devin Vassell. They drafted a type. They drafted a guy that was going to fit the idea of what Pop was telling us all of last season. This positionless basketball, not my thing, but I understand. We're going to have to start running it, and we're going to get some population on my team that can do it this year. And James just said it. For me as a Spurs fan, when I look at him, I think of this team as not a guard-heavy team, but a backcourt heavy team. Lots of guys that play from the timeline to the free throw line in that area. That's lots of guys that are capable of handling the ball, passing the ball, coming off picks, but not really a true point guard. There's really not we're trying to get Derek to be a true point guard. DeJounte is not a true point guard. Patty Mills isn't a true point guard.
Yeah, Patty's a 2.
And we've had a couple that have come and gone that we've tried. Trey Jones in there now.
I think he can be a player.
Yeah, he could be, but he has some issues that will never allow him to start. He's just not big enough to defend and do some of the things. Can he play 18 minutes a game and be respectable? Absolutely, but you have to find the matchups, the right times for him. I don't see him ever being a starter. So the idea of finding a guard, I see it even though we are backcourt heavy.
Right. Well, I mean, you look at the champions this year. Do you feel like Brooke and Giannis are like legit front court people where you don't?
Well, Giannis is not by method. If you take away the video of him doing what he's doing and you just plop down a shot chart, he's as post player as Shaq ever was. His buckets come 3 feet and in. It's just how he gets there is different than we've ever seen before. So it's like when Tony Parker led the league in points in the paint, you think, points in the paint for a point guard? No, it's layups, but it's in the paint.
Right.
That's Giannis. He's points in the paint, but it's not the dominating drop step dunk on you. It is the coming downhill at you, dribbling toward you, spinning. Outcome's the same. It's just how he attacks it.
Yeah, and then Ayton over there on the side of Phoenix, they just won. They only have one big. So, and that's where, Pledge and I talked about this, I don't know, maybe a week and a half ago. Like, I know we're tired of guards, but you actually need quite a few in today's NBA. But the fact that our big position as far as protecting the rim is so glaring because it's non-existent, that's what I feel like drives us so crazy. Like, there is no rim protection. It's a layup line when you play the Spurs. You can get to the paint. Love Jakob, great guy. He can't fly. He can't swat a fly. He just can't. That's just not in his DNA. That's just not who he is, and no one fears him. So I'm thinking what we're looking for, what the fans are looking for, what you're looking for is somebody that's going to at least cause a little bit of deterrent from coming into the paint. And we don't have that yet.
Protect those guards on defense.
Absolutely.
Be a sin eater. Allow other guys to make mistakes, and we can come back from that because there's a guy behind them. And I think watching Rudy Gobert with Team USA, going against Team USA, he ate a lot of sins from the French guards. I mean, he ate a lot of things that they screwed up. They didn't rotate defensively. They didn't get it right. But Rudy was always there at the rim, and it was never easy to finish.
It's funny you say that. I know we got to go to break, but that's why Bruce Bowen never won a Defensive Player of the Year. He had Tim Duncan behind him. I love Bruce. Bruce is a great defender, defend the best player on the team every night. But you can do that, and you can gamble, and you can reach when you got that dude number 21 behind you. You know, people were like, man, why didn't Bruce win? Why didn't Bruce win? Do y'all know who's standing behind him? What are y'all talking about? So when you say that about Rudy, like, hey, man, gamble.
Yeah, I got you,
reach. Bro. Rudy's like, go ahead, I got y'all. If they come in here, it's going back the other way, and we off and running.
The Spurs continue to shop. The draft is Thursday. You can catch it in its entirety right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We're going to get you ready early on. The post-up crew, Jack Thompson. My son's going to be mad at me. Jack Thompson and Brandon Medina. Full prep on that. Yes, we have the draft completely surrounded here on San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, the Big 12 is dying a slow and painful death. The death throes are ugly and almost embarrassing. Oklahoma State is mad. What's going to happen next? The SEC is going to gather together to improve it awful soon. We'll give you all the college sports news coming up here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, and in college football, the Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners have officially notified the Big 12 in a joint statement they will not renew a grant of rights agreement with the league when it expires in 2025. The Big 12 responded in a statement after their announced intention to leave, saying, quote, our 8 members are disappointed, end quote. Texas and OU are expected to apply for SEC membership when they leave the conference. In the NFL, the Deshaun Watson saga continues with the Texans as after he reported to training camp and pushed for a trade out of Houston, Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, told ESPN yesterday that 10 women have made complaints to the Houston Police Department against him, including 2 that are not involved in the civil suits against him. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
What would happen if you got to work today, opened up your business, and the AC did not come on? What would you do if you got home from work today and found that thermostat hovering around 92 degrees and only rising? You'd call Service First AC and Plumbing, knowing full well they would come quickly and they would fix the problem because they're the first responders for air conditioning and plumbing issues. They're my first responder. They should be yours, so much so that I recommend you put their phone number in your phone, knowing full well that when you have that emergency, one dial, one button will get Service First AC and Plumbing out to your home as fast as possible. The number you need is 210-521-1500. Again, 210-521-1500. They have the fastest service with same-day service calls here in San Antonio. They've been doing it around here for over 14 years. San Antonians taking care of San Antonians. Reliable and proactive, of course. Fast, of course. Reliable, yes. But most importantly to me, I trust them. They'll come into my home. They take care of it. They're cleanly. They clean up after themselves, and they're proactive. They'll take care of the problem for the price that is respected. I'll tell you, Service First AC and Plumbing. I've got them in my phone for a reason. They take care of my home. You need to think about it. What are you going to do when your air conditioning breaks? What are you going to do when you're standing in a puddle of water in your bathroom? You need to know that you can call Service First AC and Plumbing, and they'll be out there quickly and take care of the problem. They're my first responders. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's getting hot here in San Antonio. It's only going to continue getting hotter. And if you know your AC's stumbling and bumbling, rumbling around and not quite cooling off, if the pipes are rumbling and something might be cracking, know that Service First AC and Plumbing is ready and waiting to take care of you 24/7, 365. What are you going to do when you're dealing with an air conditioning or plumbing problem in your home or at your office? I recommend Service First AC and Plumbing. Be ready when you need fast and trusted AC and plumbing protection. It is Service First AC and Plumbing. Put them in your phone and thank me later.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Woo! Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices in Windows 10 Pro.
Staples Connect has everything you need for back to school at amazing prices. Right now, the TI-84 Plus CE Graphing Calculator is just $99.99. You save $55, our lowest price of the season. With savings like that, your student won't just be ready for school. They'll be first day of school pop quiz ready.
It's showtime.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back-to-school today and get more than ready for back to school with amazing prices for everything on your list. Ends 8/1, limit 2 per customer, in store only.
It's like breakfast tacos with the hot stuff. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Welcome on to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. As we like to say, don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you to work. Coming to you live from Dallas Cowboys Training Camp. You know, last night was our first opportunity to kind of get out and show Rudy around the greater Oxnard, Ventura, Camarillo, Metroplex. Went out to Ventura. Went to a place called Eric Erickson's. It's a seafood place on a jetty that goes way out into the Pacific. Been there since like 1872 or something like that. Pretty place.
Beautiful.
It is it's remarkably cool here. We had Jerry Jones on yesterday on the Blitz, and Jason made a point of saying, "Yeah, we were happy when you were in San Antonio, but don't change it. Don't leave here." The bubble that they have created in here this week is a bit interesting, and this will be our first taste of how the kind of access we have to the boys. We're certainly going to have live interviews like we always do, but because yesterday was an off day, today the McCarthy will have practice. It'll be our first view of what the Dallas Cowboys look like under second-year head coach Mike McCarthy. I've not seen their practices. I know what Garrett's regime looked like, and football is football. It's not going to be too much different, but I'm really interested to see what the sense of urgency,
right?
How things look, how involved are not only the position coaches, but the coordinators. How much are they involved? I remember when they brought in Richard was Chris Richard was really the.
I thought he was the heir apparent.
Well, not only was we considered him to be the heir apparent, but really he was kind of the acting defensive coordinator. Marinelli had he had a gig, and he was kind of the defensive guy, but really you could just sense that Richard brought a younger vibe. And I remember watching him come out for that very first practice. He had cleats on. And like elbow pads. I said, this is a different kind of coach. And he was running around with his team. He was a fire-up coach.
Yeah.
And Marinelli was a different kind of coach as well. I want to see what these assistant coaches, how they handle their individual groups. You know, every position coach has a certain drill that they love. One was a couple years back, the wide receivers coach, I forget his name, that is now come and gone, had his wide receivers carrying around bricks.
Really?
You know, for grip strength. They were holding on bricks to
grip
work.
Strength is important.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before. So I'm really excited to see what they do in practice and how it and how they handle it. You know, the routine.
Sanjay Lal.
Yeah, it was Sanjay Lal that had his wide receivers walking around carrying bricks. I don't think
so. That didn't work.
That didn't really work out. A lot of those guys over the last couple of years, mediocrity breeds job openings, from what I've seen. So we're going to have complete coverage, and then tonight we're going to take Rudy up the PCH. It'll be his first experience heading up the Pacific Coast Highway and looking at the blue waters to your right, and the crags and the California rocks.
You have been raving about this drive. Now, what are we going to do to make sure I stay awake?
Well, I don't know if we can fix that. The first thing we're going to do is get to the our Motel Hell in and out as quickly as possible.
Now, keep in mind, y'all, when we we get off the plane, go get the rental, then we haul butt over here to camp because we had to get set up. We were possibly going to have an interview. So we don't get back into the hotel until 8. No, we got there about 7:50. We walk in, we're tired. We're just ready to get in our rooms, go get some food. There's a sign on the window. And keep in mind, this is a hotel. Hotel, you're supposed to always have someone there, sir. There's a big old sign on the window that says, out for lunch, be back at 8:05. That's when I knew. First of all, you look, and when you first get in there, you're looking at the place, you're like, okay, it's a little sketch. And then there's a sign that says, out for lunch, won't be back till 8:05. Then they don't get back till 8:15. And then it promptly takes her 30 to 40 minutes to print us 3 keys. Rob's frustrated. We haven't been here 30 minutes, and Rob's ready to scream. So I already knew. And then we almost get in a fight yesterday. So I already knew what this is going to be.
Everything's good in your room, right?
My room is fine. My tub is sketchy.
Yeah, my tub's a little sketch too. There's something peeling up. I can't quite figure out.
It's peeling. The paint is peeling.
There's a level. Yeah, there's a level that I didn't know could peel.
I've been taking bird baths. I've been taking bird baths because I don't know what's going on in that shit. Yeah, I've been in and out. I'm talking about in and out.
I used took a shower this morning, got up. Because I think our floor, we're on the 3rd floor. It's an easy walk up because the elevator's broken.
The elevator's trash.
I think the construction crew broke the elevator, and that's another story for. But anyway, I think our rooms on the top floor have been recently remodeled. At least,
yes.
There's parts of my room that feel new, but the tub obviously is from like 30
didn't
years
redo
ago.
the tub.
So I used the shower for the first time this morning, washed my hair, and part of it, the bathroom. Nice fixtures. It's as nice as any of.
Yeah.
They have the, Rudy. I know you use your hair dryer a lot.
Yeah, every morning.
I know that's one of the
every
first
morning
things you
I
look
blow
for.
dry my hair, my beard.
When you get to hotel rooms to make sure that the dryer works and the iron is functioning. If you're like me,
yeah.
So I had one of those wall hair dryers, and it's new. I mean, it's not dirty. It looks shiny. It's either really, really clean. Wash my hair, and I'm a hair dryer guy. I'd like to blow my hair dry and not have to worry about it anymore.
And no dice.
No, and get it taken care of. This morning, I took the shower and pulled that thing on. Did not work. Plugged it in over and over. It's and then to get complimented that my hair looked good.
It did. I thought you had a great.
That makes you reevaluate your entire morning routine.
So I'm thinking we need to get rid of the blow dryer in the morning. I think it's messing up your hair.
That's been part and parcel of my life for a long time. It's how I
Is it because it works or is it because
wasted your entire life, Rob?
I have done things terribly wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's the hot air in my face that wakes me up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. We're going to talk Big 12 when we come back. You know, we heard over a week ago. It's over. And now, as every team in the Big 12 that's being left high and dry is going through these stages of grief, I think a couple of schools are still in the bargaining stage. Oklahoma State is in the anger stage. The athletic director speaks, the Big 12 crumbles, and the SEC will gather to welcome aboard Texas and OU next week. Let's look at the landscape of the Big 12 after a monumental shift. We'll do that next here on R&R in the Morning, here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
2 teams, 22 players, and over 100,000 screaming maniacs. Your home for Cowboys football on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
O'Reilly. Ready for your next road trip? Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need to stay safe while traveling. Visibility on the road is so important and so easy to achieve. Get your windshield streak-free and crystal clear with Blue Magic Glass Cleaner. On sale now, 2 for $5. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Don't wait until you think you have a problem with your water before calling Alamo Water Softeners. Hi, Jason Minix here. Have Alamo Water Softeners come out to your house and give you a free water analysis and free estimate. Get free basic installation with the purchase of select new water softeners. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Having a water softener, it's a necessity, not a luxury. So discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Our shoes have more miles on them than your car does. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Jay, Will, and Zubin on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the Morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Thanks for joining us. We're always so grateful you come into our store. Coming to you live from Oxnard, California. Your Dallas Cowboys Training Camp Coverage continues. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Presented by Ewald, Kubota, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Don't forget about the Blitz today at 4 o'clock. Jason Minix. Halftime will be here in just a couple hours. Rudy and I will refresh, reverb, and come back and discuss the highlights of the day in a little bit slower pace. We get a little bit more in depth at the halftime as you enjoy your lunch. Training camp's about to kick in. I saw the guys just a little bit ago. They're getting the fields ready. What are you looking forward to most?
Oh, the live press conference. Getting to watch a live practice. I want to say, let me make sure. Well, no, the Dome, but I wasn't really that close. This will really be my first time, like really up close watching a practice. a live NFL practice.
I want to see Micah Parsons run. I want to see if he's in person
fast.
everything I think he is.
He's the truth. Like again, I know they wanted the corner from South Carolina or Surtain, but for Parsons to fall in your lap, there's nothing wrong with that. Like there were 3 guys you could have taken that are going to be studs, and you got one of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching live practice, but I also want to hear what McCarthy has to say, and whoever else, Zeke. I'm sure they'll bring Zeke and Dak to the podium. I want to hear what they have to say, and if I'm not mistaken, we're going to carry some of that live.
Oh, we will.
So I'm seeing the $10,000 cameras. I'm seeing the $5,000 microphones. Because again, this is going to be my first day experiencing a full media day. So I'm taking this all in. This isn't not everybody gets to do this. So I'm taking all of it in to be real. Rob.
It's going to be a busy day. I also want to see Jabril Cox. Jerry talked about the depth.
He brought him up, right?
That he is built in at linebacker. These guys, I want to see how easily they flow. And, it's going to be good to see Dak. It's going to be good to see Dak.
I want to see Dak, too.
Out there moving, throwing the balls. I want to see the skinny La'el Collins. The pictures I've seen said, it's the thinnest he's been since his LSU days. I want to see a thinner. I don't know. I want to find out. Well, that's why we're here, to get that kind of bird's eye view that nobody else
Connor
gets.
Williams fatter?
Well, somebody better be a little bit fatter. Zeke got skinny. We need fat running back. We need fat linemen and skinny running backs, if that's the case. And talk about Zeke, the thin, the svelter, skinnier Zeke. These guys have all spent this offseason, this COVID year, thinning out and changing their body types.
But first, we got to go get some powdered eggs from the hotel and reach. We got to go get some powdered eggs and rubber sausage. But I like the waffle.
Actually,
the waffle was solid.
It was for the hotel to be as motelish as you could possibly be, and it's exactly what you'd expect from this kind of hotel on the 101 just outside of Oxnard. I mean, it is not out of character. But the breakfast was actually well stocked, and I don't know. I guess it's COVID related, but ordinarily when you go in there, you're making your own waffles. And by the way, strangely, their waffles aren't shaped like Texas.
No, it's just circle, but it was really good.
I just kind of assumed that everybody had it. That you had to eat waffles the shape of Texas. I just thought that was everywhere. So, but when you get
you arrogant Texans get on my damn nerves.
Hey, what kind of waffle is this? Well, the girl they make the waffles for you. They serve you. I guess you're not allowed to.
Yeah. She was like, "What do you want, sir?" I was like, "Oh, we're getting some 5-star service." She served me my whole plate and poured the mix for me, flipped it.
Offered pleasant conversation. Despite everything else, that was the highlight of the hotel. And we found out that we can finish our show and get back in time and have a little bit of breakfast.
So I'm going to eat breakfast again.
A lovely I'm kidding. Waiting area. We yesterday the elevator was broken. We couldn't. It's only 3 floors, and I wasn't going to get on it. But after we had gone and come back, I found out why. The construction crew was using the elevator to haul the rocks that they're evidently crushing in the room next to mine.
And they're in the rooms they're renovating. Pledge. They have the mattresses outside on the street.
And a family of...
And then they're putting them back in the room after the mattresses have been on.
They're airing them out.
I'm like, bro, where am I? And I told them I'm bad luck. It never rains here, right? It rained yesterday.
Yes, it did.
They always have a beach house. We're in the Quality Inn. They always go to all these nice restaurants 9, 10 o'clock at night. They're all closed. I think you may need to come, Pledge, and I may need to run the board next year because I brought a weird aura, dude. Like nothing has gone as planned.
I know,
except Jerry.
Hold on a sec. You got Jerry for the first time in like forever. Plus, you're going to the party in Nobu on Thursday, so I think things are okay.
I think it's all relative. Yeah. Before we do head out into the sunset, so prepare for halftime.
Yes.
The Big 12 is in the throes of the ends, and there are some that are already angling. They're searching. They're looking. There are some that have been blindsided and don't know what they're going to do. And then there's Oklahoma State. And while Texas is joining their rival, the Oklahoma State thing is not only a divorce from the Big 12, it's a divorce from a sister school. Mm-hmm. And the athletic director, the school president, from Oklahoma State is pissed.
Yes.
In a statement they released yesterday.
He said, this action was strategic, deliberate, and is the result of months of planning with the SEC. We believe these conversations, which developed over a long period of time, are in clear breach of the bylaws of the Big 12 Conference and broke a bond of trust between our universities in existence for decades.
What? Who said it? What's her name?
Case Shroom.
Kate, the president at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, she was upset.
That is the equivalent of you tell someone it's over and them saying, "No, it's not. We're still together."
Yeah, she was upset. She had more to say, more tweets. Like, she went off.
You can't see if your angle is to injunct or restrict them from leaving. It's only a short-term stopgap. It becomes vindictive. They're already gone.
Yeah.
It is. I can't stress enough that anybody out there who believes that the SEC is going to get together next week and somehow vote not to allow Texas and OU in, that's not going to happen. That was already done, taken care of, or this story wouldn't have been leaked. It was so quiet and so back channel that no one from Oklahoma State or Texas A&M had any idea that this was happening.
And props to Bowlesby. He, in his statement, I don't have to read it, but paraphrasing, Bowlesby understands that this is a done deal.
Yes.
And that he said, hey, we're going to work together to figure this out. And I'm paraphrasing, but Bowlesby doesn't sound anything like the president from Oklahoma State. Bowlesby is accepted like, hey, and he's a commissioner. He knows, like, this thing is a done deal. It's just it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, Bowlesby he kept reiterating 2025. He said 2025 twice in his quotes. So I don't know if he's delusional on that part, but there's no way it makes it to 2025. But he has accepted that this is a done deal.
He is the captain of the Titanic. He just has accepted that they've hit an iceberg. He's not denying the fact. He knows the boat is sinking. Get on the lifeboats.
Yeah.
We're going to do all we can. Don't worry about the orchestra. We're not going to make them play. We're going to try to get it done. And unfortunately, he's commissioner of a conference that will radically change, if even exist, in the next couple of years. I think that the blood feud between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State is going to intensify to a red hot level. This is not done between them, and it's going to get vindictive. It's going to get where there's lawyers involved.
Very petty.
Because they feel slighted and ignored, and that is a scorned lover from the get-go. As the Big 12 slowly sinks into the morass that is the changing college football landscape. Hey, we're about to break out and head out and watch a little bit of practice. Don't forget.
By the way, breaking news as we head out,
you're
talking about this, Greg Sankey officially has stated that the Longhorns and Sooners have officially applied for membership into the SEC for 2025.
Greg Sankey is the commissioner of the SEC. That very much has been a part of
he
these
hadn't
programs.
said anything up to this point.
He doesn't have to, man. He is the undisputed king of all things college sports. He's the commissioner of the preeminent league in college football that is just continuing to grow. Hey, the halftime will be here around the corner. We're going to have the Dallas Cowboys press conference and all your training camp news then. Thanks for hanging with us.
Dallas Cowboys football lives here.
Jerry Jones joining us.
No one more disappointed with our